And we're live.
Back in the house once again.
It is the effing podcast. I guess I'll be the temporary host for the day. I am B-Dub.
Branson.
Son, a.k.a. Alpha Dog. Woof, woof.
And we're in the building.
We're anticipating the arrival of Buddha Junkie, Buddha. And shout out to my girl Kelly Joe. As we get ready to get tonight's show kicked off on the good foot. So Dub, what we got?
First, it's like, what, second day of spring and shit?
It is?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not know.
Spring is in the air.
Yeah.
In the words of the
spring is on the 20th.
in the words of the great Biz Marquis, it's spring again. It's spring again.
Tell all the people.
Everybody knows.
Everybody
it's
that it's
spring
spring
again.
Yeah. Cool. So, I want to do our customary shout-outs that we do when we start the show. We're going to start off with a shout-out to Eighth and Fancy.
Shout out.
For all of your adult beverage snacks and needs. We also have Dank Drinks. Shout out Dank Drinks.
Shout out.
Shout out Crimey Dealers. For
Shout
being
out.
very crimey.
Shout out.
And shout out the local plug. Please eat responsibly.
Local plug.
Okay, now that we've got those shout outs out the way, I do want to start the show off with the big RIP. The news hit us yesterday. Kind of very sad to hear, especially since it kind of crept up on us. But RIP to George Foreman.
Boxing legend.
Boxing legend, former heavyweight boxing champion, passed away at 76. Of course, we all know George Foreman, like Pee Wee Kirkland, was a legend in 2 games.
Yes, sir.
So he passed away, looks like Friday night. According to his family, they released a statement. They did not release a cause of death at the moment. Of course, we all remember him first as a 2-time world heavyweight champion and Olympic gold medalist, and considered one of the hardest punches in boxing history. And, of course, everybody remembers him for winning back the heavyweight champion and becoming the oldest heavyweight champion in history at 45, defeating Michael Moore in 1994. And, of course, his legendary fights with legendary fight with Muhammad Ali. Yes, out there in Africa. Of course, he was inducted in the World Boxing Hall of Fame and International Boxing Hall of Fame. He was married 5 times, 12 children, and so he's very fruitful.
And weren't
and
all of his
multiplied.
kids named George?
Well, his
So
sons.
it's about I think about 4 or 5 of them sons.
Some
Yeah.
of them have renditions of the name George.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of y'all got them Foreman grills now.
Yeah, that's why he's a legend in 2 games.
Yeah, and then entrepreneurship. So a lot of y'all got them Foreman grills.
Yeah, them Foreman grills helped my generation survive college.
Foreman grills are probably one of the best cooking inventions of all time.
Up until the air fryer came out, the
exactly.
Foreman grill was it.
Out. Yep.
Yeah, that was a must-have item. So, of course, we remember Rumble in the Jungle in 1974 in Zaire. But Foreman was also a preacher. Did y'all see that movie, his bio movie, a couple years ago? Wasn't it called Foreman?
I think so, but I haven't got a chance
I
to
watched
see
it. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be one of those hokey movies, and it had those hokey moments, but it was actually a pretty good movie. I was surprised just based on what I was expecting when I watched it. And, of course, we remember his original retirement in 79 before he came back to win at the age of 45, but he left the ring originally at 39. And, of course, 2 decades later, he won. Well, not 2 decades later, but a decade later, he won again and got that belt from Michael Moore. So
I kept calling him back.
Yeah, the game kept calling him back, and he finally retired for good at 48 with a record of 76-5 with 68 knockouts. So I remember him, of course, as a spokesman, not just for Foreman Grills, but he did those Meineke commercials I remember watching all the time. He was doing lots and lots of commercials, so he was a man, we grew up seeing him all the time.
I remember
He was like the first Shaq. You know how Shaq
He was like Shaq in a way because he did.
I remember he could give a whooping, but he could take one too.
Yeah.
He
That nigga had a hard ass head.
He took some punishment in that ring as well. He definitely dished some out.
You know, back then they were going like 15 rounds.
Yeah, so
Yeah, them long 15.
15 rounds and shit. So ain't nothing like how it is now. So, you know,
Yeah.
he's a true warrior.
Yeah, so of course he was born in Marshall, Texas. He took up boxing after dropping out of school at 15. I just remember the original tale of him being very angry, and he knocked out 10 of his first 11 opponents. So he came into the ring pretty much, ready to dominate.
pissed.
Yeah, pissed, angry.
Came in the ring pissed.
Yeah, but, once that money and all that came and he found purpose with God, I guess, becoming a preacher. Yeah, he
Became really personal.
Yeah, and he went from this angry black man to the most beloved. That'll be like me when I get some paper.
Oh, was he angry though?
Well, I mean, when he was younger.
Can we say that? I mean, because he really though, if you look at it, when the era he came up in, I'll be angry too. Shit.
I didn't say it wasn't justifiable.
I don't know. I mean, so as
lots of black people born George Foreman.
of course. So that's what I'm
generation
saying.
were
So
angry.
I wouldn't. So
no,
you know,
he was still an angry dude.
I'm just saying though, but it's just the characterization that somebody just automatically deemed angry. So it was like, okay, so
No, I mean, he was in a life of crime, and then he found boxing and salvation, and he was running the streets. He grew up fatherless. He had a lot of things in his life to make him angry. I didn't say his anger wasn't justifiable, but he was an angry nigga. Yeah. Everybody from that situation didn't grow up angry, but the point I'm trying to make is he turned his anger into happiness.
okay.
Which goes to show you, punching people in the face makes you happy sometimes if you're angry. That's what we can learn. But George Foreman was very helpful to the community. He did build a community rec center for the poor kids of his community. So, he was one of those dudes that came back to the community and helped out the community. So he wasn't somebody who just got rich and didn't share his money. He was very much shared. In fact, that's half the reason he went back to boxing. Wasn't the money getting tight from the community center and helping everybody? Yeah. So,
very good.
He was a very noble man. Very sad to see him go. We'll always remember him. 76.
76. So
he had some time left.
Good life.
He lived a good life though. 76.
I think everybody should touch 100 if possible.
Nah, 100 is too long.
Hell no.
It depends. I
tell people, you live to 100, you're more than likely outliving your kids and falling onto your kids' kids.
Not necessarily. Because if you reach 100, depending on, let's say you had kids like 25, 30, and you live to 100. Right, they're gonna be. They'll probably be. They'll be in 65, 70. They'll be between their 60s and 70s. Yeah,
they'll be waiting for you to go.
Right.
Shit,
and could you imagine falling on your grandkids as their responsibility? Let's go see granddad and stuff like that.
Hey,
like,
listen, man. Hey, when you eating off that money though, you ain't gonna be saying shit. So that's the whole purpose. Get that bread. So
he's set for life off the Foreman Grill
alone.
So that's what I'm saying. You got that money, you can toe that line.
Yeah.
If you need a damn wipe my ass, goddamn, you go wipe my ass because why? You eating all that money.
Yeah, and we should shout out Hulk Hogan because he was the one who passed on the grill. And
definitely shout out because his trash.
Yeah, because that money could have gone to him and his family. Yeah, Foreman hadn't, but it went to a black family. So Hogan, thank you Hulk Hogan for skipping on the I don't know what it was called.
It would have been a Hogan grill,
but
it's the Foreman grill now.
It's the Foreman grill, and you helped a black family experience generational wealth by simply passing on an opportunity. Thank you, Hulk Hogan.
Word up.
Yeah, so R.I.P. George Foreman. Rest in peace. We're going to go ahead and move on to some other topics right now because I know about your one of the homies down in Dallas.
Before we start, we're going to hit, I think, the biggest topic real quick.
Go for it.
Dreamville lineup was announced this week.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I saw the Dreamville lineup.
Look, the Dreamville. Like, I think that's kind of a big topic tonight. The Dreamville lineup.
Well, J. Cole should apologize for it.
Why you
okay,
headline?
so
Why you headline Lil Wayne?
Saturday night is going to
Lil
be
Wayne, Hot Boys,
Big Timers,
Big Timers.
21 Savage,
Yep.
Luda,
Yep.
Chief Keef,
Mm-hmm.
Keisha Cole,
Some of them he already had up there before.
Ari Lennox, Ab Soul,
Young Nudie.
Young Nudie,
Yep.
Oh God.
Luke, Bass, if I pronounce it wrong,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kai Cash, and Nikki Brim.
And
The
Eric,
headline.
and what then with Erica
The
Badu?
headliner, like we said, is Lil Wayne and the Hot
Yeah.
Boys.
Well, that's day one.
Saturday. Sunday, J. Cole,
Yep.
Erykah Badu,
Tim's.
Thames. That's a good one.
Glorilla.
Orilla,
That's good.
Jid,
He's on his
Wale,
label. Wale got some new music I heard.
Coco Jones,
Never heard of her.
your guy.
I like Coco Jones.
I like Coco Jones too.
I don't know her music. She fine as hell on the
Your
Fresh
guy.
Prince.
My guy.
Your guy,
Who?
Big X,
Okay, Big X. Okay.
The plug.
Earth Gang, Anicia, Kaz, and Akaya.
I don't even know who those
I
are.
don't even know none of those.
And if I
outside of-
mispronounced them, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
but
I'm
yeah.
surprised you got that right.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
you,
be
you
real
did, you
honest,
did
I'm
pretty
sorry.
good, young man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
But outside of Big X, and I don't know none of the rest of them.
You know Erica, of course, and Tim's.
Tim's, do I?
Yeah, everybody knows.
Oh, I
Tim.
probably heard and only know.
Then you know Glow.
I know Glow, yeah.
Jid.
Wale, I know Jid.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
familiar with them.
Sunday gonna be dope.
But a lot of them is repeated.
Who are people expecting though? I'm
That
just
was
curious,
my
you know.
question.
Right.
Who
I
were
mean, come
people
on.
kind
This-
of expecting?
I mean, shit, this is your last one. They think this shit supposed to be a banger.
he
like
gave you Drake. He gave you Usher.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't give you Chris Brown.
right, he delivered on
might
Chris
be who
Brown.
everybody was
Right,
waiting
probably
on.
think Chris
That might have
Brown
been
was
who they were waiting
if
on,
he'd
Chris
got Chris Brown, that would shut it down.
You think he could have pulled like Jay-Z?
No,
No.
I don't think he could have pulled B either.
Oh, I wasn't even going to say Beyonce.
But like Chris Brown, I think
I
people
don't
want to
even
see
think
Chris
Chris
Brown.
Brown.
I was like, bring Nas. Like I think Nas has one of those type of.
Well, if he brought
followings.
Nas, he wouldn't let Nas down, and then the song would be fake.
But I'm just, but as you say, who did they want him to bring?
Chris
I don't
Brown?
know.
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown would have been fine.
Since he didn't show up when that was last year before last.
I think it's more so people just didn't want to see previous artists.
Right.
Again.
It's like Wayne.
But he
Yeah.
bringing the Hot Boys with.
I mean, have y'all seen his
Are
performance?
they going to perform at the same time on the
Right.
same stage?
Right.
You know how Wayne said this
Right.
shit.
21. I think 21's been here before.
21's been here before.
I don't think Luda's been here. Has Luda?
Luda been here before. It's like one of the first ones.
Yeah.
Keisha Cole.
Keisha Cole, I believe she been here before. It's
Nobody
like
cares
one of
if
the
she
first.
been here before.
Huh?
I mean, I think the name that.
Jid is his label.
Yeah.
So he
Her
has
thing always comes.
Yeah,
those are
he
given.
gonna always put his
Yeah,
people up.
Dreamville
I
don't
think
count.
Erica. I think Erica's a good name.
Wasn't she here before?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Erica's a good name.
I mean,
do.
she's cool. It's just like, I think what it is they were looking for more of a younger crowd lineup.
That's
Right.
what it is. You're trying
This
to
is
toe
the-
this
It's
line.
old, they say it's old heads.
This
line.
is
You're trying to
Auntieville.
toe this line of what's going to mesh well with both crowds, and it would have been Chris. It
Auntieville.
would
I
have been
mean,
Chris.
but the
what it
point
is.
is though, he's around that age himself. So
Yeah, but
it's
I
not
mean, well, the other previous years were geared towards the
younger crowd, right?
So
This one, but
you kind of
I
want to keep
guess
the
they
same
saw,
energy.
Yeah, I guess they seen who's actually spending the money. It's the older
That is
crowd.
possible.
It's the older crowd, so that's the reason why.
That was the only topic I wanted to jump off on. I just wanted to discuss the Dreamville lineup and why people were disappointed. But I was like, who are they going to dig up? Michael, Pop.
Nah,
like,
Chris-
you're
Chris-
not getting some of
Chris
these artists.
Brown would have done it.
Yeah,
Chris Brown is all people wanted. Or people would have been cool with popular artists that just never performed there before.
Right, exactly.
This one feels kind of like a reach or
Yeah.
lazy.
Yeah.
and like you say, for it to be the last one, and this how
You
you're
supposed-
going out
you
like
supposed to
yeah.
set this show like
Yeah,
a
it's
bang.
supposed to
You know
be.
what I'm saying? Motherfuckers supposed to be talking about this for decades.
forever, and it's this
You know what I'm saying?
right now. It's not going to be better than last year's.
But once again, it shows how he let the state down, bro. I told you. From that beat, he let the state down. Like, yo, if you supposed to be the face of NC, man, you supposed to pop out. You supposed to have a awesome lineup. 2 days. You know what I'm saying? You know people gonna come out and support. You supposed to make sure. It seems like it was just put together. You know what I'm saying? So
I can understand the disappointment, but it's still, I think, a good lineup. I think it's a good lineup for what he got.
as long as Wayne, as long as he ain't fucked up,
too over the legal limit.
Yeah,
as long as he's not too over the legal limit.
Bro, like, yo, these niggas
Wayne get tore up.
Right, exactly. Like, come on, bro. Like, motherfuckers come out and pay money and shit like that, and niggas can't even perform.
Well,
live.
they still gonna go. People going. They might not be super excited, but people are gonna go.
I know. I mean, you know, the younger folks gonna go, but again, they was bringing in the older crowd in this. You feel what I'm saying? Because they felt like that. They just looking at revenue wise.
Yeah. You need the older crowd because somebody got to buy these $350 tickets.
$500 tickets.
Like somebody with a job.
They the ones that's paying them tickets. A lot of them kids ain't buying them.
Somebody with a job need to be buying some of these tickets.
They ain't saving up. They probably asking for a birthday present or a Christmas present type shit. Yeah.
Okay. Moving right along, I did want to touch on what's going on in Dallas with the arrest of Yellow Beezy. So it looks like
bad week for rappers.
Yeah, bad week for rappers. So
y'all niggas tripping.
Dallas's own Yellow Beezy was arrested this week, accused of hiring a hitman to off his fellow rapper Melvin Nobles, known as, is it Mo 3?
Yeah, Mo 3.
Okay, I didn't know if it was Mo or just Mo 3, but Mo 3.
Are you familiar with any of his work?
I'm not familiar with. I know about Yellow Beezy
because I'm not familiar with his work, but a lot of people talk about him. Though a lot of people talk about Mo 3. I never. Really
I've heard the name.
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't know the correct pronunciation of it. But no, I am not familiar with Mo 3's music. I know that one song by Yellow Beezy that went viral a few years ago.
Could you put me on? Because
that's on me. That's on me. It came out in 2017.
Yeah.
It was on a mixtape. So that made a little bit of noise.
That shit was a banger.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I'm old.
I don't want to pretend that I am familiar with Yellow Beezy's catalog. Well, I mean, it's just
it's all right.
Yeah, I mean, the one song he had, I thought it was straight.
Yeah, he had a couple of them.
Well, no, the one song I heard. My bad.
There's a couple of them.
I didn't mean to seem like. Yeah, so it looks like he's being held $2 million bail in Dallas County Jail, allegedly for hiring the hitman to off Mo 3, and this happened back in 2021. Wait. The interesting part of this whole situation was the fact that allegedly the guy who snitched on Yellow Beezy was his own cousin. So it looks like the accused gunman who Yellow Beezy hired was Keywan Dontrell White, who was indicted on the charge in 2021. And in 2022, he was sentenced to 9 years in federal prison on a gun charge. So I guess while being locked up, he basically snitched and told who, basically how this whole situation went, who hired him. Yeah, finger pointing and all that. So that's the backstory to it. The original beef was caused. I got the video lined up where they basically discuss how the origins of the beef happened.
Y'all been knew the situation between Yellow Beezy and Mo 3. Mo 3 got on the track and bragged about shooting Yellow Beezy multiple times. Bragged about killing rap boy Freddie Homeboys multiple times. So I understand his mom and friends want justice for him, but let's call a spade a spade. These was two street beefing, amen. It all started when Yellow Beezy got Roy Lee knocked off. Now, why he did that, I don't know. Dude was a whole comedian, but allegedly, Yellow Beezy had enough of this man and got him killed. 03 was not having it because that was one of his best friends, one of his only friends in the music industry, one of his only friends in the city. So what did Mo 3 do? Catch Yellow Beezy at a strip club, chase him through every light imaginable, and shot the out him on the highway. Yellow Beezy, being way smarter than Mo 3, came back and got Mo 3 friend named Lil Bubba. The Lil Bubba was publicized and shown all on TV because it was mafia style. So they knew then hits was being ordered in Dallas. After that, that put Mo3 back against the wall, and he had to show that he was out here gorilla status. So he started stepping on shit, robbing shit, shooting shit, bragging about it. 3 was a whole villain. Trap Boy and Yella Beezy could not take it, so as a result, they commenced, allegedly, they commenced it. So we saying long live 3, and that's on me. But the truth of the matter is we have 2 young black superstars who was very successful, had children, supported their family and friends. They were great black men for the community, but they chose violence and threw it all away. This is Dallas County. I do not understand why Yella Beezy or Mo3 thought they could get away with it. But they about to learn real fast, because Mo3 gonna get charged from the grave for all that bragging on them bodies he was doing. Y'all gonna see he wasn't no good guy.
Yeah, so that was a clip basically explaining how the beef started and how it escalated to the point where all of this stuff happened. So basically it sounded like
Jealousy?
a lot of local beef that just kind of builds up into violence.
Which it was done.
Jealousy, envy.
You take away the same thing from it, what the guy said in the clip. You have 2 successful black men, young black men,
Getting money.
who threw all of it
away.
Oh,
All of it away.
Stupid shit.
Over something
Egos.
petty.
Just egos.
Just threw all this money away that they made. Silly. It's
Very
silly.
Well, at least he got a $2 million bond, because most motherfuckers kill somebody, you ain't getting no bond.
Yeah.
But, okay,
Usually revoked.
you
That's
take
only because it's Texas, though. Buddha, 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 Buddha.
you take that too. Oh, I'm sorry, Buddha. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that doesn't it seem like a lot of artists seem to glorify and take this route and then get hemmed up in the process, and now
They want to live that life.
You see somebody doing good, or you think you should be doing as good as them, and that's where the game has really gotten.
Well, a lot
messed up.
of it too is based off of they want to live the life that they're rapping about. You feel what I'm saying? So if they saying they busting or they slimed out somebody, you know what I'm saying? Some of the terminology, whatever the case may be,
it could be the other way around. It's not them, wanting to live the life. No, you're telling on yourself through your music,
Yeah, exactly.
through the life that you're living, not the life you want. No. A lot of these niggas is actually out here wilding for real.
Yeah, and
Really
they are.
stained up,
I'm getting
you know
ready.
what I mean?
I'm getting ready to give you another one after we finish this. I'm getting ready to give you another one that happened today.
Damn. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, in addition to this actual issue, it looks like Yellow Beezy and Mo3, there was a reported shooting back in 2018 in Louisville. It looks like it was happening on State Highway 121.
Is that Louisville or Louisville?
Louisville. Well,
My bad. I didn't want to correct you.
No, you might be right. It's Dallas. So
It might be Louisville.
yeah. So yeah, it's not St. Louis. Yeah, but it looks like this shooting happened. This happened to Yellow Beezy in 2018 on the State Highway 121. And it looks like he was also arrested and faced with the charge of unlawful firearm possession in 2021. So he's got a few charges on him. And at the moment, it just looks like he's in police custody after being arrested for this. So I don't know. I don't know if a trial date has been set. Do you know if anything?
I mean, but like you
he
say,
just got
he's
arrested
on
the
$2
other
million. He on $2 million bail, right?
$2 million
Your
bill.
lawyer probably going to need.
About $2 million.
Your lawyer going to need
It's gonna
like.
cost him about $4-5 million.
So yeah, he
Fight this
broke.
case.
He broke. He threw all his money away.
yeah.
All of it. Threw it all away foolishly.
And the sad part is Roy Lee Pate got caught in this. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Roy Lee Pate, but he was he did a lot of skits on Facebook. And I liked his skits. I thought he was hilarious. And then I heard he got shot and I was like, damn, that kind of ruined my day when I heard that. But yeah, it looks like it's a whole lot of brothers dying over nothing.
Over foolishness.
Yeah.
Right. Too much
Well,
money out
I'm
here.
getting ready because are we done with the Yellow
Yeah,
Beezy
go
thing?
for it.
Okay, boom. So
It's a little deeper than foolishness, though, because weren't they, if I'm not mistaken, didn't this originate over like You're not from here. I'm from here.
It was about they're both from Oak Cliff.
That's my point. You're not from here.
Both from Oak
I'm
Cliff.
from here.
I'm really from here. Like I was born in the hospital
Nigga,
here.
none of y'all niggas
you
own
a transplant
like,
here.
yeah,
None of you niggas own this land,
but
bro.
this is stupid. Like you're not from here, but you're here now.
Yeah.
That used to be the thing in Atlanta.
shit.
That's anywhere.
Yeah.
And you ain't from here, nigga. I was born here, nigga.
Yeah, like it's anywhere, and it's kind
Family
of
go all the way back to 1700s, nigga.
it's kind of ridiculous because sometimes you ain't got nothing to do with where I'm at. Like my parents brought me here. I'm sorry.
I didn't want to be here, to be honest. I wanted to be somewhere else. Different whole state, city, shit.
Yeah, I feel you on that. But yeah, that's why a lot of artists get hurt because they want to beef over dumb shit.
Well, not just that. I'm getting ready because today, one of my favorite artists was shot. One of his artists was killed. Sauce Walker. Sauce Walker was caught in a robbery up in Memphis.
That's what it was?
Yeah. And no. They killed the rapper that was with him, his artist. Sauce got shot though. Sauce, they say he gonna recover. He gonna be all right. Look, on Sauce.
Did they say where he got shot at?
Sauce got shot in the leg, I believe.
He'll walk again.
Yeah, it writes its own jokes. It writes its own jokes. But it's the culture. This flashy culture where you got to show all your money.
Man,
you got to show it.
I mean, it's his shit.
You got to show it in diamonds, jewelry. You got to show all your money.
So if he showed it, that gives a person the right to come take it.
No, it doesn't. But
He worked hard for that shit.
See, there you go again. You got to remember.
What you mean there I go
No,
again?
No, I'm talking to Branson.
Talking
Down. See, you always ready.
I don't know. It just flowed right on in.
I always come with the voice of reason and all this other shit. You niggas just most time be like, oh, I'm on go. Nah, quit acting funny. Quit being funny. Quit being funny.
I'm not being funny.
You don't.
What I'm saying is
iced
this.
out medallions.
You're right. I'm not. I'm just saying it's
You don't
become
act
so
like we had it.
flashy.
Right.
So
Like
what?
I said, we
So
had the
always
gold
see these
chains and
dudes
shit like that.
flashing money,
So
Diamond
what?
earrings and
So
shit.
when you see somebody out in public, especially the right dude, one of these YNs, what they thinking? I got me something sweet.
So, now watch this. You think the YNs only niggas that carry switches out here?
No, I'm not
And that's
saying
my
that.
point.
I'm just
But
saying,
that's the
like,
problem.
You don't have to.
You can do whatever you
Why
want.
do
I can do whatever I
why
want.
do I gotta dress
Why do I have to
myself
tone down
Because
anything?
you ain't got
Because why do I have to tone down myself
I work hard
because
for this
of
shit.
you
It
and
was
how
just- it was
I
just
move?
just an
No,
opinion
I
that
understand what you're
shared.
saying,
I'm
but you
sorry.
got to put yourself in that man's shoes.
I
You done did
understand.
everything you've done to get where you're at.
Niggas
So
done
now
try to take your legs out from you and all that shit.
you're investing and spending your money however you want to spend it because you had to work to get that bread. You had to put in whatever work you had to do to get said bread. Who the fuck are you to tell me how I'm gonna spend my bread and who are you to tell me how to utilize my money?
You right, and
Who are you to
If
tell me?
look, if I was white, you
that
wouldn't
was
be
just an
thinking. You wouldn't be
opinion.
saying.
But you wouldn't be dressing like that.
Damn lie.
You don't know that.
Damn
How
lie.
many white guys you know out here that be?
A lot of white guys aren't in the
They don't-
hip hop
they-
like
they
that.
don't- see, the only,
They'll have a watch,
They got a
or
watch,
the car,
a watch,
or some expensive ass shoes.
Yeah.
These dudes ain't thinking about that.
No,
These dudes
so
looking
what?
at this-
The type
these
of
dudes
watch-
looking at this chain
I
you
got
got
you,
on,
Fucking
and stuff
Audemars
like
and all that
But-
shit, like them big
I mean,
bands.
see, the thing is, they
Yeah,
get,
you
they,
right, but this is
the thing is, it just they get caught up in the shiny things. But the
It's
thing
not
is,
even
it's
that.
his shit though.
Niggas get caught up with the flashier stuff. That's all it is. White people, they do this shit too. They had the little big bulky chains, the big buckles, all that shit, even down to the cowboy boots with the buckles.
Motherfucking cowboy boots.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And they're not being attacked like that because it's not a niggas thing.
Right.
This is what black people have.
This
This is what niggas have done.
Them boots is becoming
Hey,
very
bruh, I
popular.
see some ill boots. You know, I'm outside at
some
night. I see some
Jordan
ill
cowboy
sombreros.
boots.
I've seen some ill sombreros out here too, yo. Mean.
Sombreros as in hats?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
What, niggas getting robbed for sombreros?
No, but
No,
I'm just
he's just
saying,
saying.
when I'm with these niggas, and
That's
I'm
what
telling
they
you,
put their money
and I'm
into.
telling
So
you,
these are
because
expensive.
And listen to what I'm saying.
They got on.
You know how you're saying, like, why doesn't it happen to these people? Dude, I be out here with them with the essays or whatever. Big Nas. They're banned up too. Like these ain't no broke people.
Like 5'7".
But they're guapped up is what I'm trying to tell you. Like they don't have
They're
like those issues. Like they'll get their sections in the club. They're getting the bottles. They're doing all the same things that we're doing. But you're not seeing or hearing about these niggas getting shot. And it's not because of the same reason that we're getting shot. You see what I'm saying?
Niggas get robbed too. It's just
but they're coked up. This ain't on no street beef. This is on some, you bumped me, pop you, hey, and then it escalates from there.
Misunderstanding.
Yeah, that's all that is.
We got is
what we got going on
beef.
is you ain't from here.
It just gets in the way for me personally. That's why.
I mean, it's all right. It's
all
right.
Yeah,
It's not like, well, for me, if I wear it, I won't be having it on all the time. It'd be like special occasion. Now I might have something simplified where I might wear it.
Here this dude go. He's the jewelry. Here
with the
this dude
fucking
go.
chain around my neck, smacking into the mic.
You know how I used to get down. I used to try to keep truck jewels. You know what I mean, like big chains and all that. The only reason I switched is because of nigga shit.
Yeah. Nigga shit, like just to cut
and
down
it's not
on
because
possibly.
and it's not because it's like I'm scared of niggas. No. I just don't even feel like
going
dealing
through that motion
with nigga shit.
And you know, I'm from an era.
I'm still rocking.
I just don't be around the niggas.
You know,
that's why I'm out of town.
From the era where
shit.
we had the thick hair and bones and
But
stuff
that's
like
my point. The Cuban links with the big
like,
piece on the end. That's what I'm saying.
But like
yo.
you
So
say,
it's
to avoid possibly putting myself in stuff.
I wear that shit out of town.
And that's when you don't wear it.
No, because
that's the problem.
Where I'm at out of town, that shit is over. It's over security. There ain't shit popping.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You see, I'm like, nah, don't do that shit out of town. You see how we've been programmed out of town.
That shit. I don't do it here in town because why? People know you or know of you, so they can have a more. You're liable to bump into somebody, whether it's intentional or not. Now, out of town, that's like a different. You had to be somewhere, or you really get caught off guard, or you fucked up somehow with somebody rob your ass. But where I'm going, it's secured, so I'm wearing that shit.
See, I see it a lot of ways because it's like if you're in town, either you're secure in your town or you're not. You know what I mean? Because I'm like me, I don't.
Oh, because
I'm
look,
good.
From look,
I'm just saying. But
regardless,
if I'm going home though, like if I go to the Met, even though I'm good,
but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Regardless, every
the population is
even if you're good, even if you're good in your city, there's still that segment of
It's always that one. There's always that one. Like I'm gonna try that.
I gotta try and step on
the name. It's the name. So you know that's why it's just like I'm just going to avoid all.
I gotta try that nigga.
Hell yeah. Okay. Well. Moving along, there was also some issues going on in the West Coast. It looks like Big U was picked up by the feds, turned himself in because apparently he was a fugitive, and he's caught some RICO charges, and he explains his stance. I got the clip lined up right here.
But y'all sending it around, getting people in trouble. Like y'all don't understand what the FBI do to black men who try to help their community. I ain't been nothing but a help to our community. But I guess it is what it is. This the price of being black and trying to help somebody, trying to help your community and do what you can. You just guilty because somebody else don't like you and they can go on the internet and do what the they want to and y'all gonna promote it. It's crazy. But I'm going to go turn myself in though. Because I ain't did nothing.
As I said, Mr. Henley is a widely known leader within the rolling 60s. He rose to prominence in that gang decades ago, and he has since been a fixture on the internet, talk shows, and podcasts, all things that law enforcement have looked at closely as part of this investigation. The facts alleged in the complaint paint a very different picture. It is one of a thief, a liar, and a cheat, and the criminals that enabled him. For example, Mr. Henley engaged in a murder of a musician signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body in Las Vegas off of the I-15 freeway. He then attempted to evade and obstruct the investigation into the murder, including ordering witnesses not to speak with law enforcement. Henley's criminal enterprise also engaged in other crimes, including transporting prostitutes across state lines, extorting strip clubs, marijuana dispensaries, and other businesses, and fraudulently applying for COVID loans in the form of a business relief loan. On that application, Mr. Henley falsely stated that his music label, Unique Music, operated at a $200,000 profit in 2019 and was entitled to government assistance, despite the reality that the company had operated at a loss and was ineligible for such relief.
And that was the clip of the charges that were being brought up against Big U.
Basically, that damn
yes,
PP sign up for that
that
PPP
loan is
got
probably
him
what
fucked
got
up.
the feds to his
And
attention.
that opened up the whole floodgates on his ass. Then on top of that,
They were just waiting for that.
I mean,
they
shit,
they had this stuff. They were just waiting for something to, like you say,
something to stick.
to
And so that
close it.
that PPP loan is big, but they can blow it up now because whatever other shit they was trying to attach to his ass and they couldn't, now they can because of that shit. It just opened up the floodgates. So that if you get a RICO, you know what I'm saying, that means that covers every fucking thing. And then on top of that, he got himself on video basically saying he extorting a damn music a movie company. Like, yo, you coming up in my hood, you ain't got that paper, then we check you got their equipment.
Like,
so I'm like, you putting it out there. You 60 years old, nigga. Like you know, then Wacko
Whack 100.
Whack 100 talked about the shit, what was coming down the pipeline and shit like that. So it was out there.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Big U enterprise is being pointed out as engaged in various crimes, including capital murder, extortion, robbery, trafficking, exploiting workers of the sexual variety, fraud, and illegal gambling. So, yeah, this nigga was running Ray's Boom Boom.
Look, he ain't give a damn whether you was a trans nigga. You was he was pimping you out.
making niggas check in when you come in the city.
yeah, you gotta
You
check
check
in when you come
in
to
and
LA.
shit. You got to
Like,
pay that bread.
but-
Look, the dispensary. You got a business up in here. You got protection. Yeah, you got to pay that. You got to pay that money.
Let me ask y'all an honest question. How long do you think you can live like this? Like
Yeah.
how
Motherfucker get tired of that shit.
It's not those days anymore.
Right,
These
niggas
are
gonna.
them young niggas.
Right,
Them
they get
days
tired of
are
that shit.
over.
And then you hurt yourself by putting yourself out there on. You know what? This will be the all-time, if it ain't already, invention. Because
the cell phone?
the cell phone with the cameras.
Yeah.
Because you
killed the club.
the instant gratification that people seeks by putting this on traps yourself off. So even if you gonna go against your own moral street code to not exposing yourself, you self-exposing yourself, that's exactly what you're doing because you want to make sure your street creds extend further outer than its original areas.
Yeah.
Y'all talking about, hold on, y'all talking about how long? Remember, this nigga damn near 60.
He is 60.
Yeah, but how long did he think he was going to be?
This nigga damn near 60.
What you say? He is 60
Like,
till the wheels fall off.
this is the exact opposite of a YN nigga.
Yeah.
He an old nigga.
Owen.
Owen. Right.
To the extreme.
He a triple Owen nigga.
Owen. Like,
You out here extort.
He still doing shit that happened 20, 30 years ago and shit. This before the internet came alive and that damn
Yeah.
He still doing
the
shit
camera
for
phones and
prohibition,
shit like
yo.
that.
Like,
That was the worst thing that could have happened. I just told you the camera phone, nigga, the internet.
You shaking down dispensaries,
Dude,
You shaking
that's
that.
why I'm like, this
Look,
is prohibition days.
You
shit,
you
yo.
shaking down. You shaking down movie companies.
Oh, you got legal weed over here, right?
Oh, you coming?
You
up,
need protection.
You coming up in the hood? You need protection. Oh, you ain't got that bread? Hey, yo, go check going.
I hope he didn't. That's why they did it too. I think in addition to those PPP loans, it was the extortion of those.
It had to be.
A shakedown.
You can't scare white people like that.
Hollywood crews.
Yeah.
That wasn't independent niggas with a
You
name.
can't, and you know you can't just do that to white people.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
and I'm
They
sure
gonna
that's the
tell
line
your
they
ass.
cross.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
they're going to
They
tell.
don't give a fuck. They gonna tell your ass.
Oh, you going to do what? You going to take my what?
Here you
Where's
go,
the man?
please.
They pulled
I'll be
that
right
listen
here.
here,
His
buddy.
name is Big Huey. Big Huey right there.
That's
I'll
him,
be right
officer.
back.
They gonna tell her your ass.
The
They
days of
not
the
playing.
shakedown are
They
over.
gonna use their whiteness to the max, nigga.
Yeah, boy.
Don't fuck with them crackers. Don't fuck with they. See, you gotta understand your lane, nigga. See, the niggas, they gonna keep it street. They ain't gonna say shit, cause goddamn you be a snitch. The white folks, they gonna tell
They
her
don't
your
care
ass.
because they don't live in the hood.
That's right. They just make their money up in there. Nigga.
You hear what you
ain't
just
gonna
said
fuck
too,
with their
though?
money. What?
We are so programmed and conditioned, dog. We're just, we have gotten to the point now where you know it's like, is it even worth it for me to contact the police?
You had niggas up there.
Even though you've done nothing wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though you've done nothing
Yeah,
wrong,
there were times
in your
I
mind
needed to
still,
call the police
you done
and
got
I
fucked
didn't.
over, but now you're like, damn.
Anything could go wrong when
Right,
you
you
bring
got
the
motherfuckers
police
saying,
into
at
it.
the police
free
over
bro,
this.
free bro. Like, damn, you talking about free bro? This nigga done killed like 2 niggas. Why you want to free that nigga?
Yeah, like that's the nigga that's supposed to be sitting down.
Exactly.
Because I'm
That
sure
nigga-
that wasn't in self-defense.
Right, that nigga need to
you
be
say?
sit. He
I'm
need
sure
to
he was
be
probably
up
aggressive.
under the jail.
He said he was sliding on his ops.
went to go
He
step.
told us what he
Right,
was doing.
yeah, you slide on your ops, nigga, for what? Oh, he stepped on my fucking shoe and shit. Oh, he fucked my baby
Wrong
mama.
color,
Yeah,
like-
like, come on, man. Like, what we doing?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
what we doing?
Okay. Well, let's keep it moving. Because I wanted to get into our main.
But before we go, Big U ain't getting out. He
Oh, it's
cooked.
over with.
He cooked.
Yes.
That's right.
Wouldn't this Big U
10,
situation be
20
similar to
years-
the Dirk
He's
situation
60
too, though?
years old.
Huh?
Ain't this Big U situation similar to the Dirk situation?
No.
And
Paid hitman.
no, that was the one before. The Mo 3 and Yellow Beezy. Yellow Beezy paid
Oh
somebody.
yeah,
Yeah,
Beezy,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, they say this nigga actually shot somebody and drug him
Yeah,
out.
like
Yeah.
he was putting
He was
in
the
work.
hitman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was the work. Like, so
and you
yeah.
asked me how long can he do it again? Nigga 60.
Doing
You
it
still
for-
putting in work.
He
and
been doing. He been
you
doing
ain't
it for
got-
3
Dude,
decades.
And this is why I don't understand about
5
it.
decades.
If that's the code, because I never claim nothing. I'm most independent nigga on every side of everything. Ain't that what the young niggas is supposed to be for? To go slide for the OGs?
You should have been past that position. Like, you shouldn't have been doing no work.
What am I missing something?
Yeah, you shouldn't have been doing no work.
Isn't
You
this
got
way beyond the shit you
you
should
got
be
at
involved
least,
with?
you got at least 30 years in this game,
and if you got hit with a RICO charge over this,
it's the thrill.
You were not
nigga,
conducting that
of
business
you being able-
properly.
It's the thrill of you able to get
Get
away
ready,
with
to tell,
it.
get ready to tell these prison stories.
Right.
Get
That's
ready
what
to
you
tell
gonna
these
do.
prison stories.
Like, nigga, I've been, yeah. I mean, shit, a nigga gonna still have some pool in there.
I'm sorry, Doug. That's all.
Okay. No, that's cool. All right. Yeah. I wanted to move along. Discuss the main topic that was popping because this week Kanye West has been on numerous rants,
That nigga was
pissing off
going
everybody from
everybody.
the Jews with his anti-Semitic remarks
Jay-Z.
to even Jay-Z and
Beyonce,
Beyonce. Yes.
Cardi, Future,
Cardi,
Yes.
Cardi B.
50
Like, you could go
Cent,
on. Like, Kendrick,
Iggy Azalea.
Drake. No,
that's beyond
We're
that.
past this now.
Yeah.
No, we're past this. Buddha.
Nah, fuck
Buddha,
that.
Buddha, stop it. And I'm gonna say it like this.
I'll go. I will even go as far as that since him and Kim has divorced. She was able to keep his ass in check and keep his ass and keep him on his medicine.
We're gonna quit giving him excuses.
Yeah,
No,
that's not an
y'all
excuse.
Stop. Y'all are.
It ain't an excuse.
Yes,
It
you
ain't
are.
an excuse.
Every time you bring up his mom, you're giving
Yeah.
him an excuse.
Well, I ain't bringing up his mom.
Going downhill since his mama died. I ain't giving that nigga no excuse for his ignorant ass behavior. No,
What I'm getting across is this: we've known several people who've lost their mothers.
Right.
I'm
one.
lost my
You
parents.
know,
one.
we've known several people who have lost parents.
Right.
And they've gone down, but not to this extent. So
Well, he's got money though, so it's a difference.
So that's even more reason why he can go get somebody to talk to.
Hey,
We're not. I'm not feeding him no more.
But
excuses,
you know,
especially
no,
after-
that's you're right. It's not saying that you can't hold him accountable, but how can you tell a motherfucker who's a billionaire what he can't do? Only way that happens if the government shut his ass down.
He's the one pressing the boundaries.
Right, of course he is. I mean, shit. I mean, again, we got an opposite color who's pressing the boundaries right now. And he's running the fucking country. So, I mean, who am I to pass judgment when we got a white motherfucker doing the same shit? You feel what I'm saying? Literally doing the same shit.
Kanye doesn't have the power of the president.
That's the only thing. He doesn't have the power of the presidency, and he ain't white. Yeah, like I said.
Yeah. So I mean, he's in a little different boat.
And he has a reason because the nigga he ain't on his meds. We got a motherfucker that
fuck his meds.
I'm just why if you are deemed your condition, we cannot.
Kanye has a whole support system other people don't have, and if he can't,
how so?
He's got $1 billion.
That's not necessarily
He's got $1 billion.
That's not necessarily true.
He has a staff of people.
He can have a bunch of yes mans and yes ma'ams.
There's still people who have to care about.
So
they're
all accountable. All of them are accountable.
They're enablers.
Yeah,
that's what they are.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. But we got a bunch of enablers around.
And let's not forget though, because we always used to throw out, and it's for people who really deal with mental health.
Yeah,
like some people really have mental health issues. I don't think this nigga's dealing with that. He's just on some other shit.
Yeah,
he's documented. He's documented that he is.
And just from the tweets he sent this week alone, not even from the prior. We're not even going to go that far. We're going to go this week. Right. Last week's tweets alone are enough to get Kanye ass whooped.
Right.
Drug.
I
feel
whooped.
you. Again, you talking about somebody who's.
Like, I'm the guy who breaks fights up, and I'm turning my back.
I feel you.
That's me. I'm the de-escalator.
I'm turning my back.
I feel you. Again,
I'm
not absolving him of his behavior.
What I'm saying is, this nigga.
What I'm saying is that, for better or worse, whatever truth to the matter is, he got a bunch of enablers around him.
True.
Because we know the difference when him and Kemp was together. He wasn't nowhere near radical as he is now. But since they have been divorced, that nigga has gone way to the right. You feel what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a pattern that's evidence that's been documented throughout the years. We know him before. We know him from mom to Kim to now he's out on his own. And obviously, he has a bunch of enablers around his ass. Nobody's able to reel his ass in.
And what's sad is we're talking about people that they could have brought to Dreamville. At one time, Kanye would have been that dude.
He probably still can if you really want to be great.
I would not waste my money going to see this.
I feel you.
That time's over.
Because imagine what rant this nigga's going to go on during his set that you
I'm
just
talking
paid
about
for.
for all the ones that said Kanye's a genius with his music. You got to be able to separate the artist.
That was graduation and before.
I think you're going to lose fans if you would have brought Kanye because it's so toxic and stuff like that.
Right. You don't know what you're going to get with him anymore.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get.
No, you know what you're going to get.
No, you don't. You just know you're getting a loose cannon now.
At one time, Kanye, before he was Dream, perfect. He would have been right.
Well, when he was still Titter.
But now, nah, and he need his ass whooped.
Now, yeah, he need his ass whipped. Titter was cool back in the day. Titter used to make great music.
And it need to be Hove. And if Ho can't get him, Solange need to catch him in the damn.
I would say pass him to Solange. Man.
But he need he need hands put on him.
Yeah. So this, of course, is in reference to the tweets that Kanye has since deleted that were describing Jay-Z and Beyonce. He said, "Now Jay-Z and Beyonce on the other end, f these coon ass niggas and their entire families." And then he said, wait, has anyone seen Jay-Z and Beyonce's younger kids? There are, literally, this is why artificial insemination is such a blessing. Having mentally handicapped children is a choice. And that's Kanye saying what he said about Jay-Z and Beyonce's kids. And he deleted it, I want to say a day later, but of course the internet moves fast. The screenshots are always going to exist, and they're still available widely.
And never erased it.
Chop them into this clip. Yeah, you can't erase them. They're out here forever. So this has caused a little bit of a firestorm, and there's been rumors going around that Jay-Z and Beyonce might be taking some legal action against Kanye over these tweets because that is a bit harsh. And there's been some insiders.
My fam, nigga.
You gotta see me.
Yeah, I don't want no
me.
money. I don't want.
They don't want money.
I want blood.
You want to make? You want attention? Let's catch this fade. We can publicly catch a fade. Boxing match.
I want an inch of skin. However you say, I need that paid.
Jay-Z wants a court order fade.
No, wait a minute. I know you two here not saying you need to put pause. Wasn't you the same people last week saying,
You're right.
Why would you give her that energy? You supposed to take
My children, my child.
Oh, Lord. But I'm just saying.
Hold on, what am I missing? Hold on. What was it?
Wait.
What was it last week? Remind me of what it was last week first.
Give us the street rules.
The girl was when we was talking about my boy Captain America talking about his nephew was talking to a young lady and she was rude to him, and I said I would have
What does that have to do with this?
No, because you said it was zesty. So now this man
that is zesty. Arguing with the female.
We're talking about kids. You're talking about
it's a kid too.
No, it's not.
He said nephew. So
his nephew was an adult.
I
He gave him
whatever.
a beer at the end.
It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is you're saying give it energy because of how somebody act. You feel what I'm saying? Now even Kanye, he's giving energy. He's talking about somebody's kids. I get what you're saying. I'm all for it because I'm going to keep the I said check the motherfucker then, check the nigga now.
I was going to say something.
Yeah, y'all said no.
My hand is raised. I'm off camera on purpose, but my hand is
You
raised.
got it.
First and foremost, you're not talking about my child. I'm not, and let me make sure I'm clear when I say this. Mm-hmm. I ain't arguing with no chick. I'm not doing that.
Who said arguing?
No. You brought this up from last
Yeah, I know.
week.
I said who arguing?
I'm not about to argue and go back and forth with the female because I got rejected or she didn't accept my advance.
Nope.
What I will do though, when somebody's talking about said something about my child
Or wife.
my family in general, but expect
two.
no. My wife is grown, so I don't need to do all the Twitter. Like I said, I'm not doing no Twitter fingers and none of this. No, I'm not. As soon as you say something about my child, I'm not saying it. There's nothing that needs to be said. Yeah. We're adults. You're talking about kids.
So it's okay for your child to be disrespected from a disrespectful woman, but it's not okay when a man do the same thing. That doesn't make sense to me, brother.
Two different situations.
No, it's not.
If Kanye says something about my son.
No, it's not.
Okay, let's say it like this. If B-Dub says something about my son, right? Keep going. This is what I want you to understand. If Kelly says something, and okay, if I go to Kelly, oh, nigga, you fuck nigga, blah, blah, blah. Damn, all right, well, I was just trying, all right, whatever. If B-Dub comes around and does the same shit, but he's like, yo, man, your kid fucking retarded ass child.
The only difference is it's a man and a female. That's the only thing. It's the sex. That's all.
No,
that's the difference. That's the only difference.
No.
One is a female. One is a male. If the
so
man,
we're talking about minors.
No,
talking about a child and a minor.
He said
from
adult.
A man.
He said adult.
Kids
21 because he got him a beer.
Kids should never.
You're saying it's okay for a woman to disrespect you, but it's not. Oh, it's not okay.
No,
if a man disrespects.
Rejected.
I didn't know. I was. No. I said I wasn't speaking on the fact of being rejected. I'm cool with that. It's how you're handling it. If I came to you polite and then you turn around and being disrespectful, and I just come back with like I check you a little bit, like it's all good, but you ain't had to come off like that. You saying that's zesty for doing that shit, and I'm like, no, I'm checking the nigga for trying to be disrespectful, and I'm being nice. If I have to hold myself accountable, why don't she do? So if I'm just the one that's gonna tell her about herself, and I'm gonna get the fuck on. It ain't gonna be no conversation.
That action
is
still zesty.
So then here we go. A week later, we got a man sitting here pretty much doing the same thing, and it's action for his ass. No, nigga, it's action for everybody. Everybody who's disrespectful, everybody get the same energy. That's all I'm just saying.
Nah.
You can't sit here and say none for her, and then
yes, I can.
yes for him.
You can't
that
fight
don't make
every
sense.
battle.
You're comparing stuff.
No, it's not.
You can't compare those.
Your child is being disrespectful in two different manners. One by a woman and two by a man. You don't have no energy for the woman, but you got the energy for the man. I'm just saying keep it equal opportunity. That's
You're
all.
protecting the child.
Exactly. I'm protecting the child as if it's a woman, and I'm protecting my child if it's a man.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Well,
but you're talking about minors, a minor child.
Now, if the chick is talking and she's being disrespectful, and then she says something about your child that's disrespectful, then
gotta check her ass.
Then you check. But
That's
if
all
she's
I was
just talking
talking about.
about you, and you're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But if she says something about the child, then yes, she's getting checked on the spot.
Right.
He
We talking
says
about
something
your, we
the child,
talking
he's
about
getting
your
checked on the
child.
spot.
We talking about your child / teenager / young adult approaching a woman respectful. How you taught him.
That has nothing to do with this.
It does,
you
bro.
are-
What I'm
can't compare
saying,
that.
no,
You're
it
reaching.
is. What I'm saying is you're standing on no energy. Don't give her no energy. Let it roll off your back.
Yeah.
So now
Because
this
that's
nigga,
an advance.
it's still your fucking kid, bro. So now we got a nigga a week
Nobody's
later.
disrespecting my. If I am advancing, if I advance you, approach you, and I get, you know what I mean, you don't accept this advance, that's different. But if somebody's just randomly, yo man, fuck this nigga kid, they retarded.
Yeah.
This nigga kids are slow. This nigga kids are special. Him and his wife, they just made a whole bunch of test tube retarded baby. Now that's just coming from out of nowhere.
So we got one person, you or the other person engaged, and another person you ain't even engaged. You don't know nothing about. The nigga just blabber off some shit right off the top of the dome, and you got action for that shit. Like, make that shit make sense.
Well, we're talking about two different situations.
I'd rather give
And this is a
We're
personal
talking about
relationship.
children in one situation. We're talking about relationships in
And it was a child /
But it's an
family
adult.
member.
You're talking about an adult with an
It's not a
advance.
It's not a child.
These are different. The scenarios
They're
are just
completely
too
two different
different.
scenarios.
They're just too different to try and merge. That's why I asked, what were you talking about? Because these, and I'm just saying these particular ones, they're too wide apart. Like
How
I
they
said,
too
you're
wide
talking
apart?
about an advance or an approach to someone, and then they say something, and then they respond disrespectfully to your approach. We're not talking
And we
about
talking
somebody.
about somebody that's you're not even talking to, you're not even engaging, you off doing your thing, and they
But
just
this
come
is
out of
supposed to be
left field
somebody
and
you
say,
made millions
your
of dollars
child,
with. You got a relationship
Uh-huh.
with. Now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, yeah, man, Alpha Dog's kids are fucking retarded. Him and Alpha Dog's made a retarded baby with his baby moms.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's
Same
supposed to be
nigga
your boy,
that
though.
you know, same nigga that you know, he's off his rocker. You just sat right here and said, well, ever since his mama done passed, he been going. You just said that. You just sat there, gave him room. The reason why
No.
he.
I ain't
still
giving no
gonna
room.
get checked. I don't give a
I'm
fuck
still
what's going on. He's
and,
still
and this is
all
what I
I'm
mean
just saying
by
is
you're
one
always
is
on
the
go
man,
mode.
Mr.
You're always on
Let's
go,
move on.
and that's what I
I'm
mean by I come to try and bring like just a level-headed approach, but then you brought my child into this from another adult male. You brought my child, my family into this. And
Why'd you stoop to that level?
Yeah.
Because children, just
Why'd
like
you
with the
stoop to
street,
that?
just like with street
Listen,
shit,
again,
that's supposed to be
the
off
only-
limits.
This is where I want you guys. I feel and understand. I'm not disagreeing with you on what you're saying. So let's make sure we keep that in.
But what's
in
the point you're trying to make?
Here it is. The point I'm making is you have your child / teenager / young adult approaching a woman in a respectful manner. She was disrespectful.
You was harping on this so bad.
No,
like,
bro.
so
I
what
see you just hold
but
on.
this is my
How the
question.
fuck
What
you go? Wait.
but
You're
you want
not
me to
gonna
go back
ask
and
me
be
a
like,
question.
so when he
You're
comes
not
back-
gonna ask me a question.
You gotta let her finish.
Wait
I
a
wanna see
minute,
where
bro.
he's going.
You're
You
not
gotta let
gonna
him
ask me a
finish.
question. Then I'm sitting
Go
here
ahead,
trying
finish.
to bridge it. Hold on,
Yeah,
bro.
finish the thought.
no, I don't want you to go
Let's
off on a
move
tangent.
on, bro. I don't
I
even
want you to finish.
No. Let's move on.
'Cause I want to see what the
Let's
point you're
move on.
making.
Let's move on to the next topic.
Okay. Well, I still let me finish out the topic. Basically, yeah. So there was a source associated with Beyonce and Jay-Z saying they're thinking of legal action, and of course, Beyonce's mom chimed in, and Beyonce's dad, Matthew Knowles, chimed in on the comments saying Kanye is going to get his karma for talking about his grandkids, and of course, Mama Knowles stepped in, and she said something along the lines of "fuck Kanye." She didn't say that, but it was pretty
Translated,
much
yeah.
Yeah, it was translated to that if you speak Blackanese in America. So yeah, we're gonna see what this leads to, and of course, Kanye being on a tear, basically crapping on every artist And then Iggy Azalea came out with the story this week about Kanye and his first meeting she had with him. I thought it was a little interesting. I got the video.
By the time it gets to the end, I don't really know what to say because there's been so much in it. It's just kind of weird. Like, I just met this guy like 5 minutes ago and I'm supposed to be in a business meeting, so super weird. And I'd been in a lot of label meetings at that time and they're all professional, so this was just weird to me. And I really looked up to Kanye, so it threw me off. I didn't know what to say, so I was like, oh, that's interesting to think that somebody that I really look up to like looks at my pictures every morning for inspiration. That's kind of cool. He was like, yeah, to them. Weird. Don't know what to say. Weird. He was like, but you've got a boyfriend, right? Okay, he didn't say it in that voice. I'm like, yes, I have a boyfriend. He was like, how big is his? Not kidding you. My face must have been like, he's like, you don't gotta tell me. You don't gotta tell me. I know it's big. Bruh, why are you asking about other men's? Weird of you. He was like, I know it is. You gotta let your boyfriend as many different girls as he can, because if you've got a big and it's his God-given right to as many women.
And that was Iggy Azalea recalling her first meeting with Kanye. I don't disagree with Kanye's logic. I just kind of disagree with him asking those questions.
Like what when you say you don't disagree with his logic, what do you mean you don't
I
disagree
think
with?
if you do have a big D, you should smash as many women as possible. That last part where he said that. Not saying I would, but I'm just saying. I agree with the logic. Don't mean I follow the logic. I just agree with it.
God.
For a guy to ask a woman,
Yeah, how big is your boyfriend's?
tool, schlong, whatever, with a straight face too. Like just for these words to come out.
Allegedly, we don't know he said it now.
No, he said.
He
no,
said
he,
it.
he already
he
planned
said it.
Okay.
in the tweet.
He get all the
said-
crazy.
Okay.
He
I've
said
seen
he
him
admitted
tweet
to
crazy
doing
stuff.
that.
So yes,
Gotcha.
he said this.
Gotcha.
And yeah, but they say Kanye like that. They say Kanye lives that life. They say
he
Kanye
does.
shows off the pictures of his girlfriend, wife, stuff like that. Like he lives that life.
Yeah, so
I wouldn't be surprised if I ain't gonna say that. But
what?
Kanye would probably go both ways. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, that's probably a given at this point.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It wouldn't surprise me if he was on them Diddy tapes.
It wouldn't surprise me if he goes both ways.
Yeah, yeah. Kanye's that next level weird. You can't really say anything about me to surprise me about Kanye at this point because I just expect anything. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was bi.
But then,
Or
I
gay.
mean, I guess the part that really got me though is you be like, then he was like, it is big, isn't it? Like that was the part that really kind of threw me. Like, okay, Kanye, you're making me uncomfortable. If she's uncomfortable, I know. Like, I'm super uncomfortable, my guy.
Yeah. So
And how? Just think about your first
Meeting.
interaction,
this is your first meeting.
and you're asking about another man's weenie
Yeah.
and how he weeders you, like, and what his
So did you want a size? Did you want to be like, it's like about there? Like, what did you want? Like, it's crazy.
What was the
That's what you
purpose
give him hanging
behind
with
it,
Trump.
though?
Huh?
That's what you give him hanging with Trump. Trump might like them. Be describing men.
Hold
shit.
on,
You
Jerry
heard
Jones does that shit too now.
about to say
like, hold on now.
Oh, Jeffrey Lurie do too. All them old ass
Oh,
white
no,
men do.
we ain't gonna put Jeffrey on that. We got Jerry on tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not gonna put Jeffrey in that until we get him on tape.
All the motherfuckers. You know Jerry got
No,
it
we
there.
can't see. We want to lump. No, we can't. We got you dead to
How-
right.
like how like
And you know who I look up to? Hold on, before y'all even go off on that 10, you know who I look up to now after hearing this shit?
Oh.
Neo.
Neo.
Because Neo know what he doing.
leave Neo alone. I told you.
I ain't fucking with Neo.
He giving Neo
I'm
his-
giving
he
Neo
giving-
props.
that's why I
Neo
said
know what he
his
doing.
props.
Neo ain't out here with,
That's-
you know,
He doing what most niggas can't do. or
he
trying
has
to do.
one issue, but you don't hear about all these different baby mama dramas and this and this and that. You got his ex-wife or whatever, and that's really it. Other than that, He's just out here living his life as
He
happy
told
as
you
one.
that he had-
Shaq, same thing, just out
Everything
here living his
in-house,
life until somebody else is come blabbering about what I got going on.
Right,
I'm just
exactly.
out here living my good old life the way I want to live it.
What they say,
Exactly.
living my best life.
Right.
Living my best.
You
Living
want
my
to
life
ask?
like it's
You
going.
go out here and ask my
y'all
girl
trying to
about
say
my
four-
wiener size?
Y'all trying to say 4 is too much? Shit.
I mean, for me,
For me, it is.
for me, it's
What,
too much.
Neo's 4 girlfriend?
Yeah.
Just 4 women is too much for me.
Yeah,
No,
that's a
that's
headache.
not-
That's too much for me.
That's not too much.
No, that's a headache.
That's time management.
Bro, yeah,
That's a headache when you got shit.
That's
to do.
all he got done, but it's time.
It's
on
a
his
headache
hand.
when you want to play GTA
Not-
online. Or
Not
2K.
necessarily. Not necessarily. Eric.
By the time it gets,
Oh,
Okay.
What size is your man's wiener?
yeah, that was a little odd. Okay, moving right along from there. I guess there was some positive happiness in the realm of black love because Jonathan Majors and Megan Good
Congratulations.
Yeah.
tied the knot this week.
Congratulations.
Yeah, they're married. Now, one question I have is, do you think this is set up to be a successful marriage?
Yeah, I believe so.
Because my thing is this. Megan Good was married to a preacher.
Right.
And I'm just like, if that didn't work out and she ran back to the streets, what?
Because the fact of the matter is, she wanted to pop that pussy a little bit more and couldn't do it because
Sometimes I think, and this is just my thought,
John
a woman
Majors
doesn't
busting that
want
back
her
out.
man too lame.
Too lame?
She don't want her man too
He
lame.
want to have some type of funk, like some.
Like, yeah, you know, like
yeah.
chicks can say they want this, but they don't.
They want somebody that got some
he's
thump
got to
with,
have
like,
a little rough.
He can look. He
edges
got.
to
Yeah, exactly. Like if he need to put hands on you,
Well,
goddamn,
nah, I
he
ain't
can
say that.
He can do that.
I ain't say that.
Yeah.
No. I'm not
See, this
putting my
what-
hands on
no.
no woman.
I
I'm just
didn't.
saying
No, I didn't
she likes
say.
to do
Oh my
who is a
god!
little-
Nobody said nothing about putting no hands on a woman. What I said was, you, the man, had the rough edges to where if you had to put hands on somebody out to protect, you can do that. That's what I'm
of
talking
course.
about.
She wants to feel protected at all times. Of course.
Yeah.
My bad. But yeah, like no chick wants. So I think it will work. I think they make a good couple.
I don't know. I noticed a stark age difference because Jonathan Majors is 35 and Megan Good is 43.
Okay, she got a younger guy.
She got her cougar on. Is that cougar?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
oh, that's cool.
That's cool. So that means she's out of the range of not having no kids.
Now they got to get a surrogate. She
Yeah,
probably got
surrogate.
some eggs frozen.
Not what you say. Not likely to have kids. Like not saying she can't.
Yeah.
See, it's different from the Jalen Green and Drea situation. That's like that is totally different situation.
Yeah, Megan Good probably
This
got
age
her
difference
eggs
ain't
frozen.
really that.
Wait a minute, why not? You got there. What's the age of her 40s? And Jalen Green is just in his 20s.
That's a big difference.
35 and 43. He's still.
That's what, 8 years?
Yeah, but he's still.
It's not creepy at that age.
But you're talking about 22 and 40.
And plus, Megan Good
We was
doesn't have a
speak-
son his age.
Now, mind you,
I don't
I'm
think she
speaking.
has kids.
Mind you, I'm speaking on the fact about her having children. Okay, so Megan Good having children. She's like 43, so he's 35. I'm sure. I don't think Jonathan made. I haven't heard he had any kids. So
He don't.
okay, so I'm assuming that if they wanted kids,
it's possible.
she most likely ain't doing it natural. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, surrogate,
Artificial.
They got the means to do it if that's the route they want to take.
Or Jonathan Majors can be a real nigga and just make a side baby. And then Megan Good got to care for it.
We want them to have a happy marriage.
We're not
I
gonna
think
put that
would-
pressure
Still
on.
be
her.
happy with
We're not
the
gonna. We're not gonna put. Hey man, do y'all thing, man.
A lifestyle or not?
Y'all
Yeah.
you just do
It
y'all
could
thing.
happen accidentally. They could be swingers. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting to see. But Jonathan Majors was on the Breakfast Club. They basically discussing how his relationship with Megan Good has affected her career.
Did you ever feel like through any of that, like you were scared or nervous that like Megan would be like, "Yo, this is too much for me"?
All the
Like,
time.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
Yeah, all the time. Well, as I said, sis, like I told her from the jump, like this is gonna get crazy. This is gonna get wild. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But when y'all in it and it's like the press, and,
Yeah,
you
but
know, 'cause
when we're
she's-
in it, like we're I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say because she's also a name, and so I think that there was a lot thrown on her as well because people were like, "Megan Good, why are you doing this?
What are you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, I had a lot of that. You know, I had a lot of. You sure? I had a lot of. I mean, we're in a relationship now. We're in a marriage. You know, I'll keep it straight. We had moments of like, hey, babe, it's cool. You know what I mean? I love you more than I can imagine, but you gotta, you know, the ship's going down. You know, you better. I'm Jack. You know what I mean? You let go of me and you go get it. You know, that was a big thing. And she took so many hits.
Okay, so yeah, they may be together longer because I just realized this nigga was costing her money like a pookie. So.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, though, look how he's being blackballed, and it was a misdemeanor. And the damn chick was chasing his motherfucking ass.
I know.
Like, make that make sense. You feel what I'm saying? He was running away, and he was on Marvels. You know what I'm saying? And he just been eviscerated just like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This shit doesn't even make sense. But
it makes plenty of sense.
How it does?
Well, I mean, he was dealing with a white woman, and the white folks didn't like it. So, you know, they jammed him up. I guarantee you if he did that to a black woman, it wouldn't have been...
Doug says, it's really sensible to me. It makes plenty of sense.
Yeah. A white woman chasing you is somehow a felony.
I can't even lie. And in America,
it's a misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor.
Well, I mean,
it's a crime.
In America. Yeah,
it's a white woman chasing you is a crime.
A white woman chasing you is a crime.
Yeah, a white woman chasing you is a crime, my boy.
Yeah, so that's why, man. That's why I stick with the sisters. Yeah, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. It's just, you know, stick with the sisters. But yeah, in terms of Jonathan Majors, now I'm realizing he is the Hollywood version of a Pookie because he just like fucked up his girl's professional and personal relationships. Well, I mean, just being with her was enough to do that. So he has the Pookie syndrome with him. You know, so that's why I think maybe now I was wrong in my initial assumption. Maybe she would rather leave the streets and be with kind of a nigga that cost her money and attention and things like that. So maybe it's real love. Maybe it's just Hollywood Pookie syndrome. We don't know.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. I mean, I don't
do y'all thing, man.
I don't wish for them to fall apart or anything. I hope they do have a very long lasting happy marriage. I just don't see it. You know, this is the streets generation. Our ladies chose the streets over happy homes. So we'll see what happens with Jonathan Majors and how that plays out. But I wanted to get into the next topic because Just Hilarious has been all over the news this week. We've even scored a mighty million views from our previous videos of covering Just Hilarious. But last week, we just simply covered Corey Holcomb discussing Just Hilarious. Since that time, of course, there's been the whole debacle with her hopping up on a live on Instagram. What was that, Wednesday night? And then going to work the very next day like shit didn't happen on Thursday.
Oh, no, she ain't going in like shit didn't happen. She
came to work like shit didn't happen.
Like nobody saw
her. She came in
like it was going to be a regular day at the office.
I ain't even going to. Nah, she came in ready.
Yeah, she was ready to go.
She ain't hold back. She did. And you know what I'm saying? A couple times she slipped up cursing, but that shit was let out because once Buddha just like, hey, she going. I went in. I was listening. I saw that shit. Yeah, she was. Her feels was out there. She was letting that, and it was like, and you know, DJ Envy, he was keeping it cool because he saw the fact that she was hurt about the whole situation and stuff. And you know, what's the name? Always clowning and shit, thinking shit funny. Charlamagne thinking shit funny. That would make her mad and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'd be Charlamagne because I just couldn't take somebody serious like that who would blast me on streaming and supposed to be my coworker.
I just couldn't.
I just didn't understand. Talked about it.
I just didn't understand how nobody saw this situation coming.
No, everybody saw
a mile away.
Yeah,
this was ready to be a situation.
Yeah, they was trying to blame it on the comments. Like, stop reading the comments. Well, actually, the comments influenced the shit. They don't want to admit it. Because that's the reason why you kept Lauren on. If she was just there temporary because Jess was out on her maternity leave. Once Jess came back, then you supposed to let her ass go back to wherever other position you did. You didn't because you saw the ratings of her with her being up there.
I saw a meme today. It was funny to be loving basketball when old girl gets pregnant and old girl comes in and takes the spot, and she's like, "You were only supposed to be here because I got pregnant." Y'all remember that? Yeah. That's what this kind of reminds me of.
Yeah. So it looks like on Tuesday, Corey decided to give a follow up to Just Hilarious's video and all of the stuff going on at the Breakfast Club.
But I remember one time when her and mild ass Donnell Rawlings was talking about me, and she said, "What he got? All he got is that 5150 show. That's all he got." Yeah. But what you got now? I'm my own boss. I live my life according to Corey, and I'm actually happy with it. It's things out here that I wish I was doing, but I'm not walking around talking about, man, I missed out on so much. Homie, I'm right there in the mix. It be mainly talking about what Corey ain't got. Right. Men, we respect hustle. You know what I'm saying? In my piss money. You get what I'm saying?
Straight up, yeah.
But be like, he got a Ford Fusion. You get what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, I'm my own man, and I feel good about to show up at the 5150 show in my seat, and I don't know what's going on. And Darlene them be like, oh, he a producer. This is my world. Learn how to get in your world. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to get all that money. I bet you didn't buy nothing to help your hair grow. You bought a lot of stuff to hide your hair. He was opening for me. Them OGs be opening for me now.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I ain't never seen a show where you wasn't the first comic. I ain't never seen a show where you wasn't the first. When there's a whole bunch of comics on the show, you always first. And the reason you first, they try to get the bull out the way. Even though you world renowned, right? You went up Shaq house telling all his business.
Oh my God, that's right. I was going to talk.
Am I right though?
Oh my God, that was horrible. I was going to talk about that last week.
So that was Corey giving his synopsis on Just Hilarious going live and the whole issue happening at the Breakfast Club. As you can see, Corey and Jess have been beefing well over a decade, so this is
forever beef.
Yeah, this is pretty much a forever beef. I think Jess is going to have to come off a kidney for Corey to forgive her or, save his children or something, but
it's forever.
Yeah. So as you saw in the beginning of the clip, Corey basically let it be known that he didn't like the fact that Jess Hilarious and Donnell Rawlings were popping shit at him about just having the 5150 show and being on YouTube. But as Corey said, 5150 is all I got, but what do you got now? And he pointed out a pretty good fact. Also, another thing I saw, and I got to address this because Corey said women are always trying to roast you by calling you out on what you don't have material-wise. And I got to say, from personal experience, that's pretty goddamn true.
That's true.
Yeah, it's very true.
No. Don't say nothing that's zesty.
Yeah, you can't say nothing.
You can't check them down. They sit here, they say you ain't got shit. You a broke nigga. You can't say nothing.
Yep.
But why am I going to entertain her? Okay, if that's what she
that's
what
I'm saying.
Stuff,
you know what I love about podcast life? I love
Watch
podcast life because everything they try to shame you on ain't shit that's really to be shameful. They be like, "Oh, you on YouTube?" Yeah, I am. Y'all make money gossiping about people. Yeah, we do. Like, lots of people make money gossiping about news that's already happened, and now we are a part of that. So it always be weird that people try. If you take the shame away of shit, they're powerless against you in terms of arguments.
That's why you don't get paid no attention. Like, I've heard it before. I'll probably hear it again. And what? Like, you're not going to cope with nothing new. You ain't going to hurt nothing.
So I learned there's power and ownership in having your own. It's just like us being here on YouTube. and not going to some random radio station that signal don't even go past the fucking Crabtree Valley Mall. Yeah. So, it's very important we have our own stuff going. Because if we didn't have our own stuff going, you wouldn't hear us unless you were a mile from the building. But
he laid it on heavy too. Like
I'm just saying. There's no issues. We're just issuing opinions here.
Shots.
We're just issuing opinions. I mean, if you do a 2-mile walk around the building, you can listen to. But no, that's big. The one thing you want to learn about Corey is having your own shit is powerful.
Yeah.
That way, you don't have to work for other people and build their brands up with your resources
your
and
face,
your audience,
name, like
whoever,
images.
whoever your audience is and whatever they got. You're helping somebody else achieve it. So there is power and ownership at every level you got. And in terms of this Breakfast Club situation, I don't know what's going to happen next for Jess because she kind of screwed her face up all the way around. As I said on your status update, she lost professional. Well, when she won, she lost. And when she lost because she didn't know how to win properly. She got the job that everybody wanted and decided to get pregnant 2 weeks later as if that wasn't going to have an effect. And then she's the one who chose Lauren as the replacement, and she's the one who's angry. So literally everything that's happening right now is because of Jess, and it's her fault. And
yes and no.
It was your own doing.
Yeah,
yes and no.
You can't get pregnant 2 weeks after getting a new job.
I mean, I get you. Well,
even if biologically you're legally right to, it's not the wisest decision, especially in the entertainment industry. Especially when you just competed with 5-6 people,
and that business moves fast. Like
I mean, understand that though, but again.
And it's just hilarious. Did she have a previous radio job? It'd be different if it was like somebody
She's a comedian, so no.
She's not much of one. I can tell you that. I saw her stand up, man. I was like, damn, where's the joke at? I thought this was a goddamn lecture.
I don't know what she was saying after this week. She was saying she got more shows and shit.
Because of the Breakfast Club, yeah. But I can tell you, just off the stand-ups I saw this week, because there were podcasters other than us who were showing clips of just a stand-up.
Right.
And I saw it, bruh, that shit is terrible.
I mean, again,
that shit made me want to do stand-up again. Because I'm like, there's no way, if this is, you get paid for this? And I'm like, yo, I was funnier than that on my second time on stage.
Like you said, it's the Breakfast Club that's behind you. So you might not be funny.
that's why she's getting that money.
We're going to go see Jess Hilarious because of the name that she is now.
Yeah, so she's screwing up all the way around, and she could be screwing up a future opportunity because there could have been other people who could have helped you out, like Shaq, but you ruined that.
Well, I mean, it just all goes to show, like, sometimes just because you got the phone that you could use at any time don't mean you need to go on it and use it.
Yeah.
Because you're causing bigger situations than what are already there. Now, it might have brought it to the forefront, but
I think the ratings went up on the Breakfast Club.
Because you knew it was going to be something. Like,
I kind of still be thinking, like, is this like a fake beef? Is this something the bosses at iHeartMedia said, like, let's kind of, we see the comments, let's just kind of wrestle, professional
lean
wrestling.
Lean into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Nah, she did her. Nah, she was in the midst of her talking, she was fighting back tears and shit. So,
yeah, she's not a great actress.
She ain't no great actress, not like that, nigga. So no.
I mean, but
I ain't gonna give her that.
Like, it's possible they might have been like, we're going to kind of just lean the show today into what Jess got going on and stuff like that, because we know people are going to tune in after watching it.
It was like at ESPN when LeBron confronted Stephen A. and Stephen A.'s bosses said, "You better talk about this shit tomorrow."
No, they ain't got to say that. They knew they were going to talk about that.
No. Stephen A. said I wasn't going to report on this, but his bosses made him, and you know how Stephen A. Stephen A. literally said he didn't want to talk about
The whole world sat here and saw this. You ain't have a choice not to talk about
his
it.
bosses made him to.
Of course, he gonna talk about it. It's gonna, even if he's gonna use on his own podcast, it's content. Everything you do.
I mean, I seriously don't believe him when he said
he was gonna talk about it. Everybody saw that shit. He wasn't gonna be a bitch about it and not talk about it. He was gonna talk about it. He gonna make some money off of it.
Man, if he hadn't said nothing about it, somebody on that show
all controversy
would have been like, hold on, we just gonna go past what happened last night. Molly probably gonna bring it up. Somebody's gonna bring it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was very, very interesting. I don't know how I feel about this whole Breakfast Club situation because I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest Just Hilarious.
Honestly, hasn't it ran its course?
No, it has.
It just started.
You think the tension's going to continue building?
No, the tension's not gonna, they going to work together.
I meant,
how long is her contract?
She's there. I mean, look, she came, like I said, I don't know how long her contract is, but she just started.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She just literally started.
But didn't she have her maternity leave? How long was that?
I don't know.
I don't know how long these contracts. I don't know too much about the radio business in terms of the contractual side because all my radio work I did was for free.
Yeah, but at this point, she's not going anywhere, and they're gonna keep them both up there, and they're gonna be one big happy family. That's all.
Let's see these ladies work together.
Yeah.
We always want to see conflict. Nah, let's see these ladies work together. I'm rooting
conflict
for
is fine, as long as you're able to resolve it.
I'm rooting
in
for them to
manner.
make it even more popular.
Right.
Just so people can say that, look, black women ain't getting along. Nah, let's get along
need
and
get
make
that
it a
bag,
winning
get that money.
I'm
Very
gonna be
successful
real honest.
situation.
I don't like how Jess handled everything, so I'm kind of rooting against her.
Why are you rooting against her?
Because I don't like how she handles shit. She handles shit unprofessionally.
I
would much rather.
Wait.
Yes.
It was on her live off. She wasn't working.
Why? But that's
she
the
was
problem.
she was at home.
That's the problem.
It was on her social media apparatus.
Why is she talking about her coworkers?
Because she was in her
live?
feeling. She was in her feelings.
I know that's against what's
No,
it
it's not.
called. I know that.
No,
I
it's
know
not.
that. Look.
No, it's not. Because if it was, she'd have
That's
been
why
fired.
I said the fact that she's still with him. This might be some wrestling shit.
I don't even think it's that. I don't even think it's that.
Because that we talk about the code of ethic, and I'm sure you getting on. You get
The code of
gotta be
ethic.
something.
The code of ethic. She didn't. Okay, in my opinion, based off what she said, she didn't break no code of ethics. She was just basically
giving her feelings
about it. You can't. She didn't say, "Oh, DJ Envy was a bitch ass niggas" like that.
Shoulda.
I mean, she just said they had her back. She feel like that. She was getting played.
It ain't my beef.
Typical guys like us, like I ain't got nothing to do with it. Like I just came to work.
Like nigga, y'all got something to do with it. Y'all the faces of the show. Y'all the faces of the show.
Yeah,
I just work here.
Yeah,
No, you
I
don't.
just work.
No, you don't. You don't just work. You
Yeah,
don't just work there. You the face of the show.
Yeah, but I think what she did was completely out of line, just in how she handled everything from a lack of professionalism.
Oh,
It was very unprofessional.
oh, she was on her own free time and will. She was
Still,
good.
you shouldn't talk that
She
manner
was at
about your
home.
coworkers.
She did say she didn't curse at him.
Yeah, she did. She did a lot of cursing in that video.
Okay, well, again, man, everybody's human. You know what I'm saying? She showed a human side. Listen, we
But I know
supposed to
one
be giving
thing, though.
passes now.
We are, but
We supposed to be giving
One
passes
thing
now.
I know about women. We all know this.
What's that?
She ain't gonna forget.
No.
Lauren is not going to forget what Jess said about her.
No.
Smooth it all over.
Hey,
I hope
it's
y'all
all
are
good.
super
It's
successful
all
and
out.
all that. But Lauren has that shit filed away in the
I
back
mean,
of her
hey.
head.
Yeah. Yeah, especially since she's the bigger talent. She's the one that's going to get all the work, regardless of what happens after the Breakfast Club, because she's handled herself as a consummate professional. Yeah. And the fact is she got Jess in her feelings from just doing her job. There was no extras. just doing everything
working.
right.
What
working.
what Jess is basically saying is if she's supposed to be fill in, and get the hell on. Y'all
Yes,
kept,
that's it. She needs to talk to her bosses.
Y'all kept her here longer than
that's
she's
the thing.
supposed to.
And that's the thing. See,
and that was the problem.
Just don't have no say so in that.
Yeah.
She just can feel how she want
to feel.
There's bosses, and
she
they were
left-
like, you know what, Jess, we kind of like her,
All right, so
and she gonna stick around.
right. So the fact of the matter is, Jess was like, "Hey, y'all brought me here for one thing, and it seems like y'all changing up. If y'all gonna change up, then let me know and let's move." That's why I took Jess to mess off and just let it be her. She openly explained
something
it.
else about that just a mess. That's not even really her segment. It was Angela Yee's spot before Jess got there.
Yeah,
and
but
if
Yee
Jess
got
wasn't
on.
there, it'd be somebody else's spot because that's a spot they put in the show for the gossip.
No.
Call in and talk about their problem.
Right, exactly. So that's her. That was her.
That spot is going to be there no matter who's at the show.
What it boils down to is this: corporate told Jess that you need to like Lauren. That's basically all it boils
She
down to.
ain't got no choice.
You need to like Lauren. You need to find.
She's the most expendable member of the group.
You need to find some type of common ground here.
She ain't going nowhere.
That's what they told her.
Yeah. So I want to see what happens as this progresses, but I definitely do not believe that Jess is going to get a renewal on her contract.
It just all depends.
It's too early, man. Like I said, she's not even.
Well, yeah, if they recover, because this could,
This is
because
super
again,
early.
if this is wrestling, if this is professional wrestling, and all this shit is a fake beef, then yeah, this could work. But yeah, the fact that she wasn't removed from the show lets me feel like this ain't real. This ain't a real beef. But you got anything else on this? Otherwise, I was gonna move along.
No, I'm good.
All right, I had one topic before we get to sports. Lil Wayne's ex-wife, Toya, was in the news this week for an interview she did. And a lot of people are seemingly saying she kind of shaded her husband in the interview, her current husband, while she was discussing Lil Wayne. And I had that clip.
Was it hard for you to make the decision to like leave the relationship? Because I remember reading your book, you obviously come from a broken home, right? And that was something that you struggled with, not wanting to give Regine. So was that something that was tough for you? And if so, what made you have enough strength to like say, I gotta do this?
I'm the type of person like, when things are not, when you're young, you go through a lot, you take a lot. But it comes at a certain point, you wake up and you be like, I deserve better. I deserve better. Now I have a daughter. I can't watch I could have still today been in that situation and can be if I wanted to. Huh. Okay. It's like, no shade or nothing. Like,
no, the thing is this. Listen, not to cut you off and not to put words in your mouth. I think we all know at the end of the day, you left Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
You left him.
Even though I got cheated on a million times.
You got cheated on.
But
right. But and this is no shade to anybody, and we're having a real conversation. At the end of the day, if you told Wayne today, I'm divorcing, God forbid, and let's do this, he will say yes. That's the gag.
Anyway, we are, but you get to a point where it's like you want more for your life. And by the way, me and Wayne have an amazing relationship. That's like my brother. We can talk about his girls,
And that was Toya Johnson, basically saying why men out there should avoid single mothers.
Going too much.
Yeah, that was a little too much right there. So basically, as you can see, she was on a podcast discussing her relationship with Lil Wayne, her ex-husband, Toya. And there was the mention of how she said she could always get Lil Wayne back if she chose. And a lot of people interpreted that as disrespect because she has been married to Robert Rushing as of 2022. And they also have a daughter together that was born in February 2018. So she married this dude, has a baby with the new dude, and she just basically blurted out that she could get back with Wayne if she chose to. And as you see, old boy was kind of playing up the interview, making up a fake scenario where he said, if God forbid you divorce, be careful if your girl's best friend is a gay man, because they messy as hell too, man, because he just put that out there when it seemed like she was allegedly in a happy marriage.
She didn't have to go. Like, it's like she went out her way to
She
say
went
that.
out her way
She went out her way
So
to
what?
say
So
that.
what you do on that? Just let that roll off
As
your
a
back.
man-
You let that roll off your back.
As a man, if you're her husband, I mean, you got to say something.
We got to say something. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to say because I'm not in that situation. Because all my women who were like that, I kicked them to the curb. Seems like you miss your baby daddy. I think you should be with him.
The only difference is you married. You got to go through some procedures.
Yeah,
too.
so
Can't
I don't think she's happy.
I'd
in
like
her
to
home.
hear this one. Let's
I
hear
don't think she's happy in her home. Let's
Let's-
hear what the married
So
man
Mr.
has to
Mr.
say.
Married man only got something to say.
Go, Buddha.
In the words of Future, bitch, don't get too comfortable.
Don't get too comfortable.
The first, my biggest issue, and I mean, this is one thing I'll say. I'm glad I don't have these rich people
Problems.
because these are rich people problems. Because there's no way in the world that my first, I guess, crush, love, like, whatever, you know what I mean? You really think I'm still hanging on to you at that?
That's saying you think Wayne feels the same way
You know
about
what I mean?
Toya?
Like, your perception
saying-
of how you think
and
you
that's
have
it.
me.
You think
you have this perception of what you think you and I still are, or what we were, and how much control you still have over.
and
me.
we're cordial. Don't get that. We laugh,
And that-
we joke,
see,
and you
but
get
see,
that
that's one thing, but that's a
misconfused.
red flag too. Cause
Yeah,
it's like,
because she said it's her girl.
yeah, but listen, this is the biggest issue. Why you talk about Wayne and you got a husband?
Exactly.
Like you have a whole husband
And
at
I
home.
was saying, and I was speaking on if you the husband, would you just let that roll off your back?
If I'm a husband and this is handled in house,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter what
Yeah.
the fuck I'm going to say because guess who won't hear it?
Y'all.
Because
She gonna hear it though.
she, nigga, I
gotta hear that.
guarantee you. I
I just want to
guarantee.
make sure. I just want to make sure we got some. I just want to make sure that wasn't considered zesty too. That's all I'm just saying.
What you mean?
Because my wife and I have an argument,
no,
or because it's gonna be some.
no, because it was a woman being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And I'm of the matter of she was being disrespectful.
Yeah, but
and,
you're
and
talking
she's
about-
married.
You're
Can
talking
I-
about
can
a
I
random.
finish?
You gotta let him finish.
Can I finish? Your woman, your wife, being disrespectful on a podcast, basically saying she can have her first baby daddy, this and third.
Ex-husband.
Right,
They were
exactly.
married.
So what I'm saying, the trend that every time I say something about checking a woman, especially if she gets out of the pocket, y'all might So I'm
No.
asking. I'm just asking, since we got a different scenario, we got another scenario of a
Bro,
woman.
you keep trolling with the scenario.
You know,
hold on, can I answer? Can I answer?
I'm just saying.
Damn.
I want this one.
Because he said
Yeah.
checking. Now
I
he
just
said
want to make
checking.
sure. I just
talking
want to
about-
make sure that we check her, right?
You're talking.
We check her, right?
You're talking about.
That's all.
You're talking about
They're
a
not
random.
paperwork.
You're talking about a
random-
random chick. I don't know
We
why
talking
this
about-
random
we
chick is getting you so up in arms.
I'm just
over
want.
a
Hey,
random
we,
chick.
style.
When
First
you're
of all,
you're
you
comparing
can't.
a random to
Oh
my wife.
God, bro!
Exactly.
No, nigga. When I'm comparing is the pattern that I'm comparing is disrespectful women. That's all. We got three different scenarios,
And they're all
of
in three
di-
different positions in your life.
Right. And so what I'm saying to you is the first two was like, don't say nothing. So I'm asking the masses here, do you check them or you let it roll off your back? That's all I just said.
The random, no, I don't
No,
check.
yeah,
the random
you
vibe.
give the random
My
no
wife-
The
energy.
second scenario wasn't random, but go
What
ahead.
was the second
You talking about
scenario?
Kanye?
Yeah, that was a friend. It was the opposite sex one. But
If
go
a
ahead.
chick is talking about my kids, I'm checking her.
Yeah.
There's no.
That's not a romantic.
And
Yeah,
then
that's
the
a
third
completely
one,
different.
I'm definitely checking her
checking her.
because she's
Okay,
my
that's all
wife.
I'm asking. See again,
The random.
the one
you're
thing,
stuck on
the
this
one
random
thing,
I don't understand why the approach and getting
the one thing,
not the response you want is you got to check somebody for that.
What you mean? The fact of the matter is, if you are holding yourself accountable, every party, whether they know each other or not, supposed to hold themselves accountable. Nobody gets a pass. Y'all sit here. Nobody gets a pass. Y'all, on y'all other hand, if you give it energy, it's being zesty. And I'm like, no, that's not.
Yeah, if it's a random chick, yes, it is. If you asking a chick for a number and she's like, no,
nigga, you dusty. Oh, I'm dusty, bitch. Oh, I'm dusty because I ain't wearing lotion. I just got off work, bitch.
Talk about your kids.
All I'm saying, what if I'm just saying that was your child that got handled like that? It's the same shit.
No, my child is going to handle himself accordingly.
I see me. Listen, I ain't got no problem. I stand on what the fuck I say.
So
if wait, because I want to make sure we get this shit straight, because y'all keep trying to pin this as if of the rejection part. I don't give a fuck about the rejection part. That's cool. It's just how you handle that shit.
So
if I have to be responsible, the other party as well.
Are you telling your son if a chick comes at him disrespectful, are you saying to go back?
Check him.
Are you saying to go back? Or are you telling him to just
hold on.
walk
You
away?
want to ask a question? I'm gonna answer that shit. If you come respectful towards a woman and she comes back and puts you on blast and embarrass you in front of an audience, you can politely check her ass and get the fuck on. You can do that. I will tell my son that. Because another thing why you should be doing that, because it would be a situation to where, what if it's physical? And if he had that same type of passive behavior, like, I ain't gonna do nothing to her, I'm gonna go the other way, but she isn't gonna let that shit go, that can be a life or death situation. She can end that young man's life. So yes, I would, to answer your question.
Okay. Well, in this particular situation,
it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah, Buddha, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, as far as that,
he asked that question. I answered.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
And to an extent, I don't need my kids checking no chick. And one thing I must point out the most, I'm not interjecting myself in an approach or an advance, because this is what I mean by these kids don't understand life and life lessons and how to handle rejection and shit like that, and that's where we get these.
I think you fix it.
These scenarios where men don't understand or kids don't understand how to deal with things.
I'm gonna say this again. It's not even nothing about the rejection. You can reject somebody. That's cool. But what I'm saying is, as a man, if we have to be responsible of holding our character intact, whether we are mad or not, whether we sad or not, the other person, the opposite sex in this case, has to be as well. Y'all taking a stance on, well, maybe she having a bad day.
I don't give a fuck she having a bad day.
Okay, hold on. Because I just want to make sure that we had this shit clear on what the hell I'm talking about. I'm not talking about no rejection, bro. That's not even the point. It's the fact that you're being disrespectful for no reason. And there's no need for that. And I'm the other matter. I will politely check your ass and keep it moving. You guys not. But the point I'm pushing back on is, you're saying if you do engage that way, that's zesty. And I'm like, no, the fuck it ain't. You just putting a cap on that shit and keeping it moving.
You just said, you're saying that it's possibly risking a physical altercation, but how is it possibly risking a physical altercation if you just walk away?
Let me finish. Go ahead. You asked the question.
Okay, let me finish.
I'm supposed to answer that.
No, I haven't finished for you to
answer.
So
you'll ask me another question. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, if you walk away from the situation, there's no confrontation. But if you meet that with the, I'm dusty and shit like that, aren't you therefore engaging? You're engaging instead of
de-escalating.
Thank you.
I'm other matter. Excuse me. I'll just go ahead and move on.
We can't because we're always going to come back to this.
No, it's not. I just asked a simple question. Is this appropriate to check the person? It was a yes or no. That's it. I kept moving.
No, and she's right, because I'm always up here saying women are emotional, men are physical, but really what it comes down to is, and like I teach, shout out to my job, I'm not disclosing where I work at, but what I teach is everybody has a right to be emotional. You can do whatever you want, but it's what you do when you have that emotion that causes the issue. You see what I'm saying? You can have whatever emotion you want at any time, but what are you going to do while you're in that emotion. That is the biggest issue. That's where the problems and the gray area for a lot of people is. You know, I mean, you could take a step back and be like, you know what? I'm either going to engage, or you could take a step back and be like,
it's not even worth it.
It's what's the point? You see what I'm saying? So it's just all about your intention in this. And that's why I'm like, we're always going to keep coming back to this, because I know you're saying it's the respectfulness now or whatever, but you can't make somebody have or character. That's just character. That's a person's character.
In that phase, I'm not it, and I'm going to use myself since I'm saying that I'm not making somebody do anything, but I am putting you on notice, because somebody, right, will take it even next further, and they will put hands on you. This probably it just may, it's like, you know what, I could have handled that better. Then again, she might not even change her mind. The fact of the matter is, I'm that one that's going to put it on notice. That's all.
Yeah, and that's the part I get. And that's what I'm saying. These scenarios are just so they're so spread out.
They're similar in a sense because, again,
you want to know what we're going to do with a black or a woman if she has these things. I know. I don't. Me personally, I don't even give women negative energy, because I got a wife at home, and I got a niece. I don't even, you know what I mean, if you wanna talk back to me like that, bitch, by all means knock yourself out. Like, you're not I done been through so much shit dealing with everybody that if I walk up to you, and even if I'm respectful, disrespectful, or what, I don't give a fuck. Bitch, I just don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck. I have been around this world
long enough.
And I know that you might have a good day, you might have a bad day. You might run into a good one, you might run into a bad one. But as far as me, you don't deserve my energy. Like, regardless of what I'm a person of character. I have certain characteristics and traits that I know they're red flags for people. But for me, I think they're good signs. You know what I mean? But that's just how it is. So I know, I'm not even going to give a scenario. Just know that I'm not giving most people any negative energy, regardless of how they come across to me, just because I'm good at myself. I don't give a fuck what you got going on, why you got to respond to me like that. It's not going to bother me. I'm so good with who I am. I'm in such a great space in my life.
You sound like a Sagittarius.
I am not. I am a Leo / Virgo.
But that's the Sag is like, that shit don't.
Yeah, like that shit. Nigga, that's water on a duck's back.
That's water on a duck's back. Like
Zodiac shit.
That shit water on a duck's back.
Sometimes Zodiac hit right on. Sagittarius nonchalant, really don't get up. That's me. I don't get up in arms about a lot of stuff. Yeah, you really gotta mess with me for me to get out of my character.
You have to push buttons. There's certain buttons you have to push. Children, that's a button. Like that, you bring anything that has nothing to do with me, especially, and it's really just children. It's just my children. Like I said, my wife is grown. Oh well, but you get my youth.
All right.
Okay, good. All right.
Sports?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
God. Look, we're going to start out with the biggest thing going right now. You know we got to start out with the NCAAs. Okay. We got to start out with the NCAAs. Yeah. If I'm right, Duke is the only team from the ACC still in the...
That's correct.
In the big dance, the only team, the ACC got like 50 teams.
Everybody Are you serious? The SEC got like 100 teams. Nigga.
We got 14 teams.
Y'all got 100 teams.
We put 14
You talking about the ACC got 50.
We put 14
Y'all
teams
started
in the tournament.
Super conference and you try to say the ACC got 50. Like, stop playing.
We put 14 teams in the tournament, though.
So you got the super conference and you gonna try to say the ACC got 50 teams? Like, really, dog? Right. Really?
Not
really.
Do you like Duke chances?
Yeah, I do.
You like Duke chances? You like Duke chances?
Yeah, well, Cooper Flag, anything is possible.
Don't sleep on Auburn. I've been saying about Auburn. That's why I didn't even do a bracket this year, because you know who I rock with.
Yeah. Shout out to Jayhawks.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tar Heels.
Why the Jayhawks?
Jayhawks got bounced.
Jayhawks bounce, Tar Heels bounce. Like, yeah. Everybody
well,
go.
everybody
gone.
You know, the Jayhawks was in trouble all season.
I know.
This not their typical team. Like, this wasn't their typical team. Just like this wasn't Carolina's typical team.
No, they've been like that for the past couple of seasons, though. Right,
Who, Carolina?
Yeah.
Nah,
Look.
Carolina had a dominant big man. They didn't have that this year.
Man, listen. They had Baycott last season. They ain't do shit. Did they go to dance last season?
Yes.
Did they?
Yes.
I don't recall.
Boy, Carolina.
Only
made a good
thing
run
I
last
remember
year.
State beating that ass in the AC championship and go all the way to Final Four.
And State didn't even make it this year.
You're right, they didn't. Keats got fired, and they got Will Wade in, nigga. Yeah, Will Wade.
And I'm gonna just not to get off, but the problem with State is you're fighting with Duke and Carolina.
No, State don't spend no money.
Yeah,
that's all. State don't spend no money. If State spend money, because they got the crowd, they got the rabid crowd like Duke and Carolina. They don't spend no money.
State is spending money, but they're not spending money on basketball.
They don't spend no money
on football.
No,
that's where
and
they're
Dave
spending their
Duran, in
money.
real talk, Dave Duran, he's a safe pick. He's been consistent winning 9 games, 10 game seasons. They had never won. He been in AC for 10 seasons, haven't won the ACC championship. Now, he put players in the league, first rounders. He can say that and shit like that. They pay for mediocre coaches. That's the reason why. They want a genie in a bottle, that type shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Don't come around
State don't spend money on no top end coaches, because we all know if you do, 9 times out of 10 you get a big bowl, big dance, or a championship. They don't spend no money. So Will Wade that they hired from McNeese State, if anybody know who Will Wade, he was the former LSU coach. He got fired because of a scandal, money with a recruit. This is before NIL deals was actually legal.
Well, I know they sued.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't worry about that no more. I can just give you money.
Hey, but so now he went to McNeese State, which his first 2 seasons there, they went to the NCAA tournament, and this year they upset a top seeded team. So he got a 6-year contract with State.
Clemson they beat?
Yeah, exactly.
It was Clemson
they beat.
They
Yeah,
beat
exactly.
Clemson.
Beat Clemson shit. So ACC, y'all just see what the fuck y'all might be facing. The only difference is they're gonna have bigger players.
And I do remember seeing McNeese getting bounced today.
Yeah, they got bounced today.
I saw them getting bounced today.
They got bounced today.
Yeah. What about the women's side?
Women's side. Listen, we got all the top seeds. State went through. South Carolina, of course.
Hold on. Did you say it, of course, like we didn't lay the wood down?
Yeah.
We put up a buckets of change
I have
on
to
them
say,
girls.
of course, because it's expected. UCLA, they blew out Southern 84-46. Then you have Richmond beat Georgia Tech 74-49.
Is this men's or women's?
Women's.
Okay.
You got Ole Miss. They
still playing?
Oh, they beat Ball State. Baylor, they beat Grand Canyon. Florida State won. Let's see, LSU is winning right now. Michigan State has won. NC State, they won. USC, Juju, they won. Damn, they won 71-25. You know what I'm saying? Damn.
We won 104-48. Just throwing that out there.
Right. So yeah, all the top seeds has passed.
Oh, the girls' tournament don't get good till next week. Yeah, I know. The girls' tournament don't get good till next week.
Good next week.
Yeah.
But as far as on the men's side, yeah, we had some upsets today. We have Michigan. Well, that wasn't upset.
They beat them boys
They
down.
beat the hell out of Texas A&M. Iowa State beat Ole Miss. We had number 10 Arkansas knocking off number 2 St. John's. That's Calipari against Patino and stuff. So that was a awesome game. Texas Tech beat Drake 77-64. And tomorrow game you got Duke versus Baylor, Arizona, Oregon.
That's gonna be a good game.
Oh snap! BYU, they beat Wisconsin. Oh, Wisconsin came back, but they came up short. But it was 91.
Ain't that one kid at BYU that got that big ass NIL deal? Or is that next year he's coming?
You right. He's supposed to be a Jewish quarterback that's out there that plays he played for their football team.
Nah, this is a basketball player. He's the number 1 player in the country. I forgot if he's because I was like, why is the number 1 basketball player in the country going to BYU? And I remember they had that NIL money.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And I don't know if he's playing there now or if he's coming next year, but
we'll see. Yep, and Tennessee is up on UCLA. So yeah, that's the men's tournament.
Are y'all watching the tournament like that?
I am. I'm pretty much. I keep up with it.
I watch the women's. If I see like a good men's game, I'll stop and watch.
Yeah, I got Yahoo up, and I check the scores.
But I'm not going to lie. I've watched more women's college basketball than men's college
because
basketball.
women are hungry.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm watching it because I just don't think nobody can beat our Gamecocks, our Lady Gamecocks this year.
I agree.
And Dawn has the team she got coming in next year, it just don't stop. Which is going to go into this discussion we have later about the top 10 female women basketball players of all time.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Next one.
Okay, so what I wanted to get into after discussing the NCAA tournament is the NFL, because there's been a couple of moves in the NFL since we last reported. The first I wanted to discuss was the NFL rule change. There were 3 teams asking to submit rule changes to the NFL for the upcoming season. One of them was the Packers, who wanted to eliminate the tush push. They proposed a rule change, changing Rule 12, Section 1 to prohibit an offensive player from pushing a teammate who was lined up directly behind the snapper and receives the snap immediately at the snap.
Tell Jordan Love to do some squats. He can do it too.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence that this
Jordan
team
Love
failed
to
at many tush pushes, and now they want to get rid of it. So that's one major one that caught the eye.
Anybody say something about bringing the old kickoff back? did they propose that rule? Oh.
Now, I do see the Lions propose to eliminate an automatic first down as a penalty imposed for defensive holding and illegal contact, which, okay, what would the penalty be?
Just a yard.
It'll be probably
yardage.
So just 15 yards next down?
No. What they're saying is instead of it's
5 yard. It's 5 yard penalty, but it's automatically a first down.
Yeah,
just give them 5 yards. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't give them 5 yards and
the first down.
That's kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
But they're not going to change that, I doubt.
I don't know now. Probably.
Okay, in your squad, the Eagles is proposing a rule to align the postseason and regular season overtime rules by granting both teams an opportunity to possess the ball regardless of the outcome of the first possession, subject to a 15-minute overtime period in the regular season. So that's what the proposal rule the Eagles changed.
I think that makes sense. I think everybody should get a chance to go score a touchdown. Because isn't it in the NFL, if you score a touchdown, the game's over, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could see that. I think that's only fair.
Yeah. And it looks like my squad, the Commanders, would permit clubs that may qualify for the postseason to obtain scouting credentials for 2 consecutive games, which are going to be weeks 17 and 18, played by a potential postseason opponent. It would also require clubs hosting wildcard games to provide scouting credentials to all teams within the same conference who are participating in the postseason. So they want to increase, I guess, the fairness for scouting within the conference. So
I can see that too.
Yeah, I'm not mad at any of these except the tush push. Do you think the tush push should stay?
I think this tush push should stay. Stop it. We came up with something that every other team in the league could use if they wanted to.
Well, I can, as a former defensive player, I can see where it is dangerous, because that means I have to get lower than you. You already damn near low to the ground, and that can cause a knee, neck injury. If we talking about head injuries, somebody's head can snap a certain way based off of how they got to dive. The defense and offensive linemen got to beat each other first to the ground to go down and come up, so to stop the initial surge. So I can see on the defensive side where it could be, you could take some knees out and somebody could possibly have a serious head
There have been teams that have stopped it. I saw it stopped a couple of times this year.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, I'm talking about if they're going to side on the safety issue side, they could. That could cause a concussion. That can cause a neck injury. That can cause a serious knee injury.
I'm just saying, I've seen it stop. Now we might have stopped it ourselves. Like we
feel
can't score.
Hey,
I'll
just play devil's advocate.
I understand.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I can see where there can be some examples to where or scenarios to where they can say, hey, if we're speaking on a safety issue, and especially we're talking about concussions, You feel what I'm saying? We talking about head-to-head contact most likely happening. You know what I'm saying? Because the defensive player got to get down up under the offensive player to stop that initial. And if they just what happened, hit heads on top of each other, somebody's head can get dislodged a certain way. Somebody's neck can get broken. You know, I can see that can possibly happen. So I can see where it can possibly get banned. You know, if they pointed out that.
Well, we'll see. I don't believe they're going to ban it.
Yeah.
I don't believe they're going to ban it.
I don't believe so either. But I know one person they should have banned who signed with Buddha's team this week. It looks like Jameis Winston signed with the Giants.
I like it.
I like that.
2-year deal for $8 million. I don't have a problem with it. I always root for Jameis Winston.
Yeah. The only issue I have is this nigga's delusional, man. He's a turnover machine and he's kind of delusional. But other than that, I like him.
Delusional.
No, hey, man, you got to have high confidence in this league. You got to have high confidence in this league. But that boy, man.
Why he delusional?
He's
high on life.
Like this.
Like I said, you have to have high confidence.
He's going to motivate him. If he don't do nothing else, he's going to motivate them for.
I like Jameis as a person too, yo. Like he's a funny dude.
Buddha wanted Aaron Rodgers.
I definitely did not. I'm happy with this pick more than anything. I just want to know who we're getting in the draft still, though.
And that's all it is.
And that's all it is.
That's all it. He going to get the play.
We got a decent quarterback at least.
Y'all getting Shador.
But he just has too many.
So Shador gets a sit.
He takes too many risks. He's a high risk quarterback.
Halfway.
I'm letting Shador sit next year.
Nah, he ain't sitting.
I'm letting him sit because, and that's what I don't understand about some of these franchises. Like the Panthers are my perfect thing. Like, so you took Bryce. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't get nothing around Bryce. You see what I'm saying? You don't got nothing to protect Bryce
because they had to give up the farm to get
it. Bryce there protecting himself.
That's
so
true.
I was like, well, if Bryce got to protect himself, let the Red Rocket protect himself. He's been in the league long enough. He can take some hits and sit Bryce for a year so Bryce can see what's going on.
You're trying to strike a genie in a bottle. So when you got a Commanders type situation with Jaden Daniels, you know what I'm saying? He led him to NFC Championship rookie season.
That's good. And
right.
You had that. And just like the year before that, you had your boy from the Texans.
Exactly. So when you have consistent evidence of this happening, if you go and especially what they gave up to get his ass, you had to put his ass.
We're talking about the Panthers.
I feel you, bro. I get what you're saying.
What we watched,
but you trying to get him on it. You trying to get a lightning in the bottle on the cheap.
About 10 years. So we know we're not catching lightning.
Right, because quarterbacks is not cheap, bro. Because after his rookie season, the average cost for a quarterback is over $20 million. And they ain't.
So why am I
look at that? He was the highest paid. He ain't won shit.
So why am I rushing this young man when I know that I'm going to possibly have to pay him all this money?
Because the clock ticking, whether you done made the right choice or not. That's why they'll see how the first third to half of the season go. If the team winning, then they'll keep it moving. If the team losing, then they'll turn it over to the rookie and see what the damn coach can do. Now, in this situation, Dayball's on and the GM is on the hot seat. You feel what I'm saying? So they can't afford to sit here and lose this season with Jameson because they're gonna get fired. So if Jameson for some reason can't maintain the ship and they have to switch it over to Shador, which most likely they will, and Shador do his thing and Dayball coaches him up to where he's able to do his thing, then they're going to save their job. But if they have a losing season with Shador to where they're going to be in the top 5, top 10 draft pick next year too, they're not going to be there. It's a whole new regime. So it's a different scenario.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I look forward to Jameis Winston at the Giants. And hopefully the Giants actually do something this year.
Are competitive this season.
Yeah. Cause
I really want to see them beat somebody this year.
He's a step up from Daniel Jones, I can tell you that much.
Yeah. And Jameis just brings it. To me, he just has a whole different attitude than what Daniel Jones had.
And now Daniel Jones out there in Indianapolis is going to compete against Richardson for the starting quarterback.
Getting ready to put Richardson out the league.
No, Richardson gonna put his own self out.
That's what I'm saying. Richardson get ready to get put out the league.
He better tighten his ass up. That's all.
Your job to fucking Daniel Jones. That's crazy.
Of all people,
that's crazy.
Okay,
I don't think so. They gotta have a competition first. So we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, well, I wanted to move along to a little mini beef brewing in the cornerback field situation as Asante Samuel has called out Deion Sanders. It looks like originally this started because Deion Sanders was on the NFL Network clip, and he was discussing the T-step move for cornerbacks, and he was saying it was a stupid move based on the placement of the foot. To which Asante Samuel went to Twitter to criticize it, saying, once again, do not listen to this foolishness, which he was criticizing Deion. Of course, he has never been able to learn how to T-step. His athletic ability was on another for his time. T-step is the best technique to get to the football, not running out the break. So that was Asante Samuel's criticism of Deion's criticism of the T-step on the NFL Network interview. From there, after that, it looks like Deion fired back and said, "Sir, foolish. God bless you, my brother. Tell them what this really about, sir. You forever taking shots at the sky. Mickey Andrews is responsible for teaching us what I teach, and it sure seemed like it worked for us. Peace be still." So Asante Samuel got mad and said, "This ain't no shots on my end, brother. Just competitive as they come. I talk shit if it offends you then. Coach taught us how to T-step. I'm just trying to compare film. You can run from the debate. I will still be here talking my shit." And from there, Asante just basically ran back to Twitter saying in his prime he was better than Deion Sanders.
Now that's where the lie is.
No, the difference.
Asante Samuel better than Deion.
No, hold on. Hear me out. Because he got rings to prove his what he talking about. They both have success with two different styles of playing defensive back. So either one is not wrong. Deion's a Hall of Famer. He won a couple of Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl and stuff like that. Only player in NFL history to play NFL as well as professional Major League Baseball. Nobody can say that. Oh, Bo Jackson. He's the only other person. So Asante, based off the technique he's talking about, he's won titles with the Patriots. So they both got something to stand on. Neither one is wrong or right, in my opinion, because as a defensive player, it's all about what makes you work. The difference between Asante and Deion's a lot more flashy. His shit is a lot more.
And Deion did more.
It's a lot more wild. He
played a bigger impact on his team.
On the games.
Right, because I feel what you're saying. Listen, I'm not saying. All I'm saying is based off the technique of what the discussion and debate is all about. They both not wrong. They both right because each one has success in what they were talking about.
And that's what I said. Like on the debate of the T-step, okay, boom, that's understandable. You being better than Deion is not understandable.
Yeah,
that's a lie. I don't agree with that.
Plus, Asante was more of a zone quarterback, and Deion was one-on-one.
That's correct, man to man, and one was played in the system. Deion, he shut down the whole half of the field.
And return kicks.
Right.
Yeah.
And caught passes. Asante ain't never do that. Not taking anything away from Asante, because like you said, he was great corner. Yeah, he was amazing. But Deion
is next level.
Yeah.
Right. Like I said, I'm just speaking on the techniques that they was having to disagree about. That's it. Both of them is right in their own.
And Deion might not have to do the T-step because that thing was just so amazing.
What he was doing, like I said, what he was doing based off his athleticism. And
everybody
his speed,
ain't Deion.
Everybody ain't Deion. So with the system that he had success with, it works for him. Mm-hmm. Now, Asante, he's a system zone type quarterback. That worked for him. So neither one is wrong.
Cool. Well, I don't think Asante Samuel is better than Deion at any parts of cornerbacks. Statistically, it says otherwise.
Maybe backing up, but that's
that's
maybe
it.
Starting to be. That's it.
I can't put him in any category above Deion. But I wanted to move off of that and get to the NBA because Bronny got his career high this week, scoring 17.
Right.
Who did they play against?
The Bucks.
The Milwaukee Bucks.
This is my thing with Bronny, and see. this is where I see both LeBron and Stephen A. being wrong. Well, that's my okay. Yeah, with Bronny, how much criticism do you give a 55th pick? Like, how much scrutiny do you give a 55th pick? You don't give him time to grow into the game. You just expect him to be popping right there. That's Stephen A.'s thing.
Right.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Because to me, the 55th pick, you normally don't hear anything about a second round draft pick.
You damn sure don't.
Let's be honest.
Unless it's a Gilbert
Right.
Arenas or a Monty.
Exactly. You really don't hear about a second round draft pick maybe a year or two in, and that only way that happened is they on a contending team. They come in as a specialist and they blossoming in their role.
So you're not giving this kid. I'm sorry, I don't. You're not
he's a
giving
man.
This kid any time to grow into what he might possibly be, and that's where LeBron is at fault, because you putting all this pressure on your son, and then Stephen A. is at fault because you're following him up knowing that he's the 55th pick in the draft. There were 55 other guys that y'all don't talk about, but y'all talk about Bronny all the time.
Well, again, I don't blame LeBron for putting his son in the position that he in, because if any of us had the power to put our children in a certain position, we're going to do the same thing. Now, as far as our opinions outside of him, whether his son can, obviously he feel like his son can play. Obviously, the Lakers feel like they can play, because I don't give a damn how great you are. You're not bigger than the organization. So if the organization believes that at the 55th pick in the second round was good enough to pick you, then obviously it was good enough.
And he can play. Like, Bronny can ball.
Yes, he can.
And then we don't remember, or we forget that he had the heart thing.
Yeah,
probably about 3 years ago.
No, it was like a year ago. It was a year ago.
Oh, okay. He just got over the heart.
So he
thing
pretty
and stuff
much
like
ain't
that.
got his legs and nothing up on it until just now and shit because of that.
So we're being unfair, or they're being unfair. We're not giving the kid a chance to see if the boy could ball. The boy dropped 17 on the Bucks.
Listen, man, you got, like I said, the one thing that I can say about out of all the greats and their sons, LeBron and his sons is documented that they legitimately work out. They do shots, drills, the whole nine. So you don't see haven't heard or seen any other NBA greats done that with their own sons as well.
What you mean? Arenas?
Is he in the league now?
He on the way?
That's what I'm talking about.
But that's what I'm saying.
What I'm talking about, everybody before LeBron, the son's great. Michael Jordan will be to come in mind. We don't have any evidence, heard anything about.
I think Mike knew his boys weren't.
Yeah, shit. Mike was gambling.
Mike knew his boys weren't.
That nigga knew early.
Ball moment.
He knew early.
He knew that it was like, nah, ain't even gonna hype these niggas up.
So like I said again, the James gang, they do the shot drills and everything. They legitimately work out and ball and shit. So that's the reason why it's different.
Yeah, well, I hope Bronny has many more games like this to shut up all the critics.
Yeah.
And I do agree. He's
In the G League, he be lighting the shit up.
Look,
You know
I know his jersey sales are crazy.
Yeah, in the G League,
I know his jersey sales are crazy.
In the G League, he be balling. You know what I'm saying? It just, again, when you coming off the bench, you know what I'm saying, he's not overly tall. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't really play in college.
And you, like I said, he coming over heart condition, so he just trying to fit his role. Yeah, the pressure is even more on him because your dad is one of the greatest players of all time and shit. So you're going to be viewed and criticized a lot differently from an average second round draft pick.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So great luck to Bronny. I wanted to get
Definitely shout out Bronny.
Yeah, shout out Bronny. I wanted to get into this final two topics because it looks like there was a little mini beef going on between Brandon Jennings and Lou Williams, and it looks like they have agreed to meet each other to play a game of pickup one-on-one.
These high school beefs.
One-on-one.
And this all coming back from high school because they're arguing about who was the best player
in Cali
in high school. And I ain't going front. Brandon Jennings was that.
He was a beast.
Dude in
and Lou Will was too.
Lou Will was
can't
too.
Put them above Baron Davis in terms of the state of California.
I don't know because Brandon Jennings was BD was up there.
Yeah.
But Brandon Jennings was a different, like, he was up there. Lou Will was too, don't get me wrong.
So that's why I say so as a competitor and as an athlete, neither one, they were in their own right, did their thing in high school. Now it's just, all right, y'all got to put it on the court, nigga. See what y'all gonna do now.
Even Ty Lawson is involved in this. So
Yeah.
I'm like, where did Ty Lawson come from?
Because he was part of that generation.
I'm like, Ty wasn't
Yeah,
from
but
Cali.
he and Ty was good, but I wouldn't put him in that Brandon Jennings like good. Ty was good.
Well, now when he was in South Carolina, right? Where's Ty?
Ty Lawson went to UNC.
I know that where he came, high school. Where did Ty Lawson? I think North Carolina. He was in the Carolinas. If I'm not mistaken.
I know he was a Carolina kid.
So the thing, what they're saying then about Ty Lawson, then in high school, he was balling. He got handles and everything. He was shooting. You know what I'm saying? He was a scorer in high school. That's how he came to Carolina as the scorer. But they tried to make him as like an Ed Cota type point guard and stuff.
He was following that tradition, that cut.
Oh, he's from Maryland.
Okay.
Oh, okay. He's from my cousin's way, Clinton, Maryland. PG. I'm a little embarrassed I didn't know that.
No.
I just associated Ty Lawson with North Carolina since he's from UNC. But yeah, he's from around PG County.
But how much are they playing for? 100?
100K.
100K.
They had the sponsor would cover that.
Pat Beverly is sponsoring.
Yeah, the sponsor. He getting that. Pat Beverly getting that money over
I might want to see that
overseas.
game though. I might want to see that game. And there's another game between
Michael Beasley and
I really
Lance
want to see
Stevenson.
that game.
Yeah.
Well,
That would be a really
That'd
good
be
game.
funny as hell though, because Lance Stevens be acting like a clown.
Yeah, but I think he's a phenomenal one-on-one
Michael
player.
Beasley is supposed to be like
He was Carmelo. He could have been Carmelo.
that
Right.
dude.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
He was coming out of
You
Kansas
put
State.
that on a card. Like, you give me the first game is Lou Will versus Brandon Jennings, and the second game is Michael
I
Beasley.
thought that's what it was when I saw these two.
And
I
I'll
thought it
buy
was
it.
going to be like a one-on-one tournament, and these were
I'll
like
buy
two
it.
different matches.
Listen,
but no.
I told you, watch them niggas. Watch that shit gonna become popular. Ever since that's the one-on-one tournaments, like especially if you out of the league and shit, and you still got some type of game. That's gonna.
I'll buy that.
If it sparks some type of interest, it's gonna be
Now,
a lot
the
of
Beasley,
money.
Lance Stevenson is already playing. The Brandon Jennings and Lou Williams is just talk
trying
at
to
the
get it
moment.
together.
But yeah, this Michael Beasley, Lance Stevenson is for $100,000 as well, and it's already set for June 6th.
Who you taking?
I like Beasley.
Beasley, I gotta go with PG. I gotta go with Maryland.
He's taller. He's
Yeah.
taller and
He
and
left.
and he's left-handed.
He left-handed.
Yeah.
And Beasley's a beast in that paint.
Like I said,
and he's bigger than
and he's much bigger.
He's a scorer, and Stevenson's a playmaker. So that's
Yeah.
the two different styles right there.
Yeah, so that's gonna be
a funny game.
That's why. That's why I said it's gonna be funny as hell, because you think about all the antics that Lance Stevens had over the years and shit. The blowing in LeBron's ear, all that shit.
Yeah, that's gonna.
And the cherry on top. Give me Stevie Francis versus Allen Iverson.
What now?
Yeah, I watch.
No.
Hell no.
Hell
I don't
no.
want to see old bloated
No,
Steve.
no,
That
no.
would break my heart. That's
No,
the pride of Maryland
no.
right there.
No.
That nigga been, he drank
He
himself.
did it. Kevin Durant did it go over Stevie Francis as a pride of Maryland.
Well, yeah, technically, but Steve Francis is from a different time.
Right.
I understand.
Yeah, Steve Francis, and he went to college in Maryland.
Right.
He went to college where he's from. KD ran to Texas.
That boy, Steve Francis.
He
was
went with the
something
money.
Different.
Yeah,
Steve Francis was something different.
Underhand money.
Steve was a little different.
Yeah, that nigga was
Okay, the last topic was that top 10 female college basketball players. So it does look like Fox, Sports?
Yeah, Fox
Sports released the top 10 all-time
They're not
women's
like
college
us.
basketball players. And making number 1 was Breonna Stewart. And number 2, everybody's favorite, Caitlin Clark. Hassan was just excited. Like, wow, Caitlin Clark, she
Caitlin
should have been
Clark.
number 1.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
The fuck?
Yeah, let me bring up the image. And for the people at home watching, as you can see right there, On the image, we had Breonna Stewart, number 1, Caitlin Clark, number 2, Diana Taurasi, number 3, Cheryl Miller at number 4, Shamika Holdsclaw, number 5, Maya Moore, number 6. Now, a lot of people were saying Maya Moore should have been top 5.
Should have been.
Brittany Griner, number 7. Candace Parker, number 8. You have Asia Wilson, number 9. And Lynette Woodard, number 10. Wasn't she the woman who was like the first woman drafted by the NBA?
Yep.
Lynette, see, I know my basketball history.
So I have a real problem with this, and we're celebrating mediocrity now. Are we? Are we doing that?
We're not celebrating.
Yes, we are, because all those names that you
part of a machine. That
all those names that you name
are part of a machine.
Outside of number 2, they won championships.
Are part of a machine.
And multiple championships.
Are part of a machine.
And they said so that helped.
Are part of a machine.
That helped elevate this number 2 person who has never won
I'm
nothing.
not disagreeing that she's not number 2.
She's
I'm just
top
saying,
10.
I'm just saying.
I'll give her top 10.
Out of the names listed, 4 or 5 of those girls are from machines.
Okay.
Shamika Holdsclaw, machine. Tennessee's a machine.
Yeah. Candace Parker, yeah.
Machine.
Can't help that.
Stewie.
Can't help that.
Tarasi. Machine.
We can't help that.
Even I root for a juggernaut machine. Asia.
We can't
machine.
help that.
You look at Caitlin. Who else played at Iowa?
So you're gonna give her the nod because nobody played at Iowa?
Who else did she play with?
What?
Who else did she play with?
I don't care. The fact of the matter is she had 4 other ladies on the team with her to help them win. She didn't carry the team by herself.
But these stars up here had other
right.
stars
And they
on
had
their
other
team.
stars up there. So the fact that they had other stars on the team and they still was able to do their thing and shine, that makes it even worse. They won. She didn't win shit. Nothing. All those ladies that you named won championships.
You're right, but like I said,
she didn't win nothing. All she did was an all-time leader scorer.
All from juggernaut schools.
I don't care. We're not taking no points away because they decided Connecticut is smaller than fucking Iowa. Did you know that? Yes. Connecticut is smaller than goddamn
the
Iowa.
University or the state?
The state, nigga.
So what does that mean?
So if you're gonna tell me who gonna go to Iowa, Connecticut's smaller than Iowa. The fact of the matter is the university spent money in a coach. They got a coach that know how to fucking get on things. So you can't knock them for that.
Caitlin on UConn.
Mm-hmm. She wins.
Yeah. You put Caitlin on
Tennessee, she wins.
Okay,
I get that.
UCLA.
So you have to give her some type of. You didn't come from a machine.
I said
school.
top 10.
Oh, that's that.
I said top 10. Number 2, no. Number 2, no. How do I put her ahead of a champion? So you mean to tell me you will put who's a not? You will put Charles Barkley over Michael Jordan? No. Why? Because Charles didn't win no chip.
But that ain't the sole reason why.
It doesn't matter, but that knocks him out completely because he didn't win shit. And he's an all-time 50 great.
For all the great players, like, okay, boom, we jump on Tracy McGrady ain't never won shit.
Allen Iverson.
Never won shit.
So you not putting them
Not
over.
won a first-round playoff game.
But you're not putting them over over a athlete that won it, though. You're not doing that.
There's plenty of athletes they put Tracy McGrady.
So who
over
you?
that.
I
Okay,
would put
so
him over some of these athletes.
okay, so who you said? What we said? Allen Iverson and Tracy McGrady, right?
Yeah.
Non-champions.
Yeah.
What champion player that's just as great as, if not better than Iverson and McGrady that you are putting them over? I'll wait.
I put Iverson over D Wade.
What?
I don't know about that.
No,
At
bro,
shooting
that's
guard, I'm
blasphemy. I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not doing that. But go ahead. That's
I
your
don't know
opinion.
about that.
Okay.
That's your opinion. Who you put McGrady over?
Shit.
That won a chip.
Okay. Vince ain't got no chips.
Who? No. The question I'm saying. Let's stick to the
But
the
that's what I'm
script,
saying.
bro.
You're saying how
What I'm
can-
saying
how can
is
somebody without a chip be higher than
because
somebody with a chip?
we as when we debate and we have barbershop talks or conversation and period about sports, championships counts. That's about 60 to 75% of the argument. And outside of that, your personal accolades at your position, at your craft, whatever the case may be. If you're sitting here, we're not talking about LeBron. We're not talking about LeBron. Go ahead.
I got Kevin Garnett over.
He won multiple championships and he was a league MVP. I'm saying non.
Iverson.
You said Iverson. We just use
McGrady.
McGrady. You can
Carter.
use Vince Carter. Who are those three that you are putting them over that won championships? That's just as good or not better than them? You're not. You're not. Because if you got them neck and neck, the chip is separating them. So now let's keep it to this category here. All those women that she's passed at number 2 won at least one title. And some of them won 3.
But like I said, these women were at machine schools. They were at juggernaut schools.
I'm not going to penalize them because they had went out and recruit. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to penalize them. The fact that they was able to not only gel, they had a super team, according to you. They still was able to dominate and have personal accolades to put them in a position where they at. She didn't win anything. As a matter of fact, the last time we saw, she got blown out in both championships. So what we doing here? She just the leading all-time scorer in college basketball. That's it. So she be top 10, but 2? No. If we're not going to sit here when we're debating about men and their accolades, the thing that separates them outside of if we're neck and neck athletics, why we just talk about Asante Samuel and Deion Sanders, we separated. They both championships. We can't sit here and just because it's women. You know what I'm saying? That's not part of the criteria.
Because it's women. I'm just saying Caitlyn ain't played with nobody. Most of these women had other teammates that were
she went to back-to-back championships.
And that makes it even more because you dragging Iowa the fuck along.
You can't do that, bro.
Shamika Holslaw was not dragging Tennessee along with her. Who else? UConn.
All right, but you can
dragging UConn.
I understand that. But again, as a team sport, somebody who plays sports, it takes the other 4, in this case, 4 other women to play to help them win. Yeah, she might get a third of the points and shit, about 20, 25 points, but all them other 4 women has to contribute. Somebody got to rebound, somebody got to steal, somebody got to give an assist for her to be able to be successful. So that's the only thing. The only difference is we cannot name any other player on that team because they didn't get the visualize as she did. That's the only difference. The other teams, they did. So they spread out their players who we can talk about.
When we watch Iowa play, we just ain't pay attention to other chicks. We just saw Caitlyn Clark.
So how are you? So again, if you're gonna say that, if you're gonna say Sue Bird, if you're gonna say Breonna Stewart and Taurasi and all them came off of Super Squad.
I'd be more to give Brittany Griner like that because she drug Baylor to a chip.
Yeah, but she's in the top. She's in the top 10
that's
though.
What I'm saying. So,
but they got her number 2.
I wouldn't put her 2. I'll put her like 6 or 7.
I'll put her at 10. 10. Everybody that she's ahead of won a chip, bro. And a couple of them won 3.
I put her at 6 or 7.
She between 7 and 10. But she can't be number 2, man. I'm not doing that. When we have debates, we talk about not only their personal accolades as well as the impact of the game. We talk about the chip. Did she win it? No. She got blown out 2 seasons back to back.
Cool. Well, y'all got any other topics you wish to discuss? Well, it was a good.
Well, just one.
What?
Because I didn't hear y'all say anything about the Tiana Taylor, yo. You didn't hear the statement.
Yeah.
Can she get her back blown out in
Can
peace?
she just get her back blown out in
peace? Yeah.
I mean,
petty. Petty.
We're looking. I look at
but
it
I
like
told
this.
y'all that was her shit that she had got back.
Like this. Oh, God. Tiana Taylor was not no broke chick when they got
no. She had her own money. She and all money. That stuff that she got. That was her shit, and she said it.
She mad at Iman because the details got out. They always get out somehow. But what I find troubling about this, what I find troubling about the whole thing is You want to put the man in jail. This is the father of your kids. This how serious this is that you want to have him in prison over something minute like this.
Didn't she say she didn't want to have him in prison, and that wasn't? Didn't she clear that up in the live?
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
I just heard that, and I was just like, that's crazy. This
It was the same live where she said at the end, "Can I get my back blown out in peace?" It was that live.
I just saw the.
So I guess you could say it was a sarcastic saying she wanted him in jail.
I don't know what the situation was, but she said.
I have a problem with women, especially black women, talking about police in lockup in jail. Like, come on. Especially now with the temperature of the country now.
Y'all shit ain't even that. Y'all got money and stuff like that. Like, jail shouldn't be nowhere in this equation.
Right.
Like, y'all should just be busting this
like
paper
I said,
down.
you get your back blown out in peace, and he doing what he doing.
Like,
come
enjoy
get the kids on the
your little
weekends
boyfriend and stuff. Yeah, get your back blown out in peace.
Handle your
You
business.
deserve that. Oh, my God. But don't act like you ain't bring some of this on yourself, too, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
Cool.
Buddha?
LLP.
Peace.
Hit that like button, share,
subscribe,
comment. Peace.